6-year-old child does just not die. Bullshit. Bullshit.
Ain't no fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
This is the exact moment the detective loses it. Right after learning the truth about what Shantay Belcher had actually done. And just seconds later, her mother walks in, only to realize her daughter's horrifying mistake.
When you shake somebody and they ain't moving, who told, put them in water? Who said that?
G-Shine.
And you listen to a 10-year-old?
Yes.
Shantay. Even your mom doesn't believe you. She doesn't.
My mom do believe
She doesn't believe you.
Yes, she do. I was just talking to her.
Do you want your kids to search one day on the internet about you and find out child murder?
Just fucking arrest me. That's what y'all want to do. Just go ahead and do it.
No,
Decision.
You're a 33-year-old woman with 5 kids, or 4 kids, okay?
Yes,
and you don't just make a stupid decision.
I always make a stupid decision.
And you know what?
Look at my fucking record.
A 6-year-old boy is dead because of it.
Shantay Belcher was brought in for interrogation after her boyfriend's 7-year-old son, Kyrie Gordon, was found unresponsive in a bathtub, left there for 12 hours without help. But what Shantay revealed during questioning would leave even detectives shaken.
Good luck. Shantay, I'm Detective Behaviour, okay? This is Detective Loader. I don't know if you spoke with him out there on the scene. Okay. I appreciate you coming down, okay? I know you rode. Did you ride with your mom or did you drive yourself?
I rode with my aunt.
Okay. If, I know you don't feel good or anything like that, if at any time you need to go to the bathroom, you know where it's at, just get up and walk out the door and go to the bathroom. You want some water, we can get you some water or anything like that, okay? If at any time you need to leave or anything like that, you know which way we came in, right? We'll just go out these doors, through the double doors, make a right, down the elevator, and we'll get you out, okay? You okay? Okay. I know this is hard for you right now, okay? But it's very important that we talk to you, okay? Because we want to try to figure out what happened, okay? Do you mind doing that?
Yes.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 33.
You're 33? Okay. Let me just make sure I have...
I only have 3.
And then Kyrie, what's his last name?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Okay. Do you know his date of birth?
I know his birthday was last month.
Okay. Alright. And then your mom is Janice McCrae?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright. What is your boyfriend's name?
Tony Gordon.
Is it Tony or Antonio?
No, Tony.
Tony. How long have you been with him?
We've been physically together a little over 2 years.
So his boyfriend, girlfriend, 2 years?
Mm-hmm. But I've been knowing him since 2013 or 14.
How long have you guys lived together?
2 years.
You lived together 2 years at the North Apartments?
No, I was staying on Kings Highway, and then I ended up moving over there. I just moved to Norton Apartments in April.
So you guys lived on Kings Highway together first, and then
Mm-hmm.
who all lives with you guys? Which of the children live with you guys?
All my kids stay with me.
Okay, so Jashan, Shamari,
And tonight.
Tanaya stay with you.
Mm-hmm.
Unique does not.
Mm-mm.
But what about Kyrie?
He only come on the weekends.
Does he come every weekend, every other weekend, or?
It's usually every weekend, but if the mom, she, I don't know how to say it. One minute she'll let Tony to come. Let Kyrie come. Next minute she don't.
Okay. So, with that being said, then how often does he actually come over to the house?
But it's been almost every weekend the last month or so.
The last month?
Yeah.
Okay, but it could be hit or miss.
Yes.
Okay. When he comes over, does he come? What day does he actually come?
He comes on Fridays because usually Tony work on Fridays. Well, he work Monday through Friday, so Tony pick him up when he get off of work early. Tony pick him up.
What time does he pick him up?
I don't know, because he usually supposed to get off at 11. Sometimes he get off a little bit before 11, and then he'll go pick up his son.
Is that 11 p.m.?
Yes.
Okay, so it's fair enough to say sometime between 11, sometime maybe between 8 and 11 at night? Is it usually dark out?
Yes, it's always dark when he get off from work.
And then what time is he supposed to be back to his mom's?
Today.
What
On Sundays?
Sundays?
Yes.
And what time does he?
Between 6 and 8 p.m. he take him home.
Tony always takes him home.
Yes.
And where does she live?
I heard she stay in St. Pete, but I guess since she had her baby, she been at her grandma's house.
Okay. What is her name?
I don't know her name. I only know her nickname, which is Kiki.
Kiki?
Yes.
Where's her grandma's house at?
It's on Betty Lane.
Okay. So
I can show you. Yeah.
Okay.
Have you been in contact with her since this morning? Do you know if Tony's been in contact with her since this morning?
I don't know.
Okay.
When I got a text from him, he said he's like really scared to tell her.
Okay. Okay. What is he afraid to tell her?
That his son was dead.
Okay. So you do know then that he passed. Okay. Okay. Let's start with a couple. So today's Sunday. Let's start with a couple days ago. Okay. How did Kyrie get to the house this weekend?
Tony picked him up when he got off from work.
And what time do you think that was?
I don't know, because I know he got home a little late. So I know I think it was like 11:30, 12.
And what night was that?
Or a little after, I don't know. It was, Friday night, Saturday morning.
So Tony works during the day, or does he work at night?
He works in the morning, and he don't get off till 11 p.m.
Oh, okay. So he works all day.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Just to get that out of the way, where does he work at?
I don't know the name of the company. All I know that he works with people that got special needs and stuff. Like they be wearing like diapers, and they get like younger than me.
Oh, wow.
Some of them younger than me.
So is he like a care person or something, or like a caregiver or something?
Yes.
Do you know where? Like where is
What
it?
the company
Clearwater,
name?
Safety Harbor, Palm Harbor? Where?
Safety Harbor.
Safety Harbor. Okay.
Yes, but it's different companies though. They have different
places where he'll go.
Yes.
Yeah, I got
But it's under the same company.
Same company. I
Right.
Gotcha.
And what time does he usually go in then to work?
8 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
8 to about 11 at night?
Yes, but we just got back from our trip because Tony's birthday is tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
And he works Monday through Friday?
Yes,
When did you guys get back from your trip?
yesterday.
Okay.
Where'd you guys go?
We went to Miami.
Nice.
So was it just you two? You and Tony? Okay. When did you guys go to Miami?
We went Monday
So you guys were there?
until yesterday.
Okay, and yesterday was Saturday.
I'm sorry. We was there till Friday.
All right, so take me through Friday.
Mhm.
So at 2 p.m. you guys get back home.
Yes.
Where did the kids stay at that when you guys were?
They was with my dad and my dad's ex-girlfriend. So my son was with my dad and my 2 girls were with my dad's ex-girlfriend.
Okay. And then Kyrie was with who?
His mom.
Okay. So you guys get back 2 p.m. Around 2 p.m. You and Tony from Miami on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you can take me through Friday up until now, okay?
I know we start unpacking. He ended up leaving to go do something. And I stayed at the house because I thought I was going to be doing hair.
What time did he leave to go do what he had to do?
I don't remember what time that was.
Okay. So you were doing hair?
No, I didn't do hair Friday. I
Okay.
did hair yesterday.
Okay. So you're at the house, you guys are unpacking.
Mm-hmm.
Tony leaves, but you don't know about what time?
Yeah, but I had to run out to go do something. I ended up leaving at, oh my gosh. When we got back from Miami, we both went to go grab the clothes from my grandma's house and clothes from my dad's ex-girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Then we came to the house. We unpacked. I had to do something and end up leaving the house. Oh,
Okay.
I can't remember.
So how does Kyrie get to your house on Friday?
Tony go pick him up.
Okay, so Tony didn't work on Friday, is that correct?
That's correct. Because he wanted to get extra hours because that's reason why he worked last night.
Okay, so Tony didn't work on Friday.
Right.
He picks up Kyrie about what time on Friday?
I don't know exactly what time he picked him up, but when they got home,
Okay.
it was like after 11:30.
Okay, 11:30 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go ahead and take me through the weekend.
Okay. I got up yesterday. Well, actually, I was just laying down. The kids was like up and playing. Tony ended up grabbing the kids because I had told him that I was end up doing hair. My client didn't get there at 12. She got there after 12.
Okay. What's your client's name?
Tiffany Scott.
Tiffany Scott.
Yes.
Okay. So she get there about, you said, what time?
I know it was after 12 when she came, so I don't know, it was like 12:30, 1 o'clock when she came. Because I went to go get me something to eat, and I ended up coming back to the house before she came.
Okay.
So when she came, I had started doing her hair.
Okay.
And then she was like venting to me about like what's going on in her life.
Okay.
So the time ended up overpassing because I know she ended up staying longer than she was supposed to.
Okay.
And I been finished her hair.
Mm-hmm. So you guys just hanging out?
Yes.
Okay.
And then Tony ended up coming home with the kids.
Which kids did he come home with?
My kids, my niece and his son.
Okay, so all the kids that are in there plus Kyrie.
Yes.
And what time did he get home?
It was about 6:30 because he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna end up going to work, make extra money," and I was like, "Okay, that's fine." And I was like, "What time are you supposed to be going?" He's like 6, but I'm gonna end up going in later. I was like, "Well, okay, I'm gonna feed the kids." And they're gonna end up bathing because at first he gonna let the kids bathe, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense if you're already late. So Tony ended up taking a shower and ended up leaving.
Okay, so what time do you think Tony left?
I know it was after 7, probably about 7:30. I know it's like in between 7:30.
Okay, and he goes to work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What time did Miss Scott leave the house?
As soon as Tony and the kids got home.
Okay, so she left about. It's fair enough. You said
About
that.
6:30.
Okay. All right, so she leaves about 6:30. Tony gets home, and then Tony leaves her again between like 7 and 7:30. Okay, and now you're home with who?
With all the kids.
Okay. And what happens after that?
I had all the kids to go take a bath.
Okay.
Before I end up feeding them.
Do they take a? How do they take baths?
They put the little stopper in the tub and run the bath water.
So they run their own bath water and all of them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do they go individually go?
Individually.
Okay.
Now, real quick, when they got home, how were the kids? Was anybody fighting, arguing? Everybody seemed
They were
okay?
playing,
They're
yeah.
playing, so
Everybody's fine.
when you got home, there was nothing that you can look at Kyrie or any kid saying something's wrong.
Mm-mm.
Nobody said they fell.
I
nobody
think
said
they was tired.
Where did they get home from?
Yeah.
Where they got home from?
Yeah, where'd they go?
When he got home around 6:30, 6 or 6:30, where was Tony with the kids?
I think my son said Tony took them to the park, 2 different parks,
Okay.
and took them to Publix to get something to eat.
Do you know which parks?
I know Logger Park was one of them. I don't know the other park.
And do you know which Publix they usually go to, or they went to?
No, I don't.
What time? When did he leave with the kids to go get to the parks?
He left. I want to say 11 or 12. I mean, I don't know. I know he left before 12. I know that for sure. And him and the kids was like going all day.
Was it just him and the kids? Okay. Is that something he usually does? He'll take the kids to the park and stuff like that?
Yes, cause especially when I'm doing hair.
Okay.
Because my 5-year-old, she liked the...
Yeah, she's fine.
Yeah.
So he knows you're doing hair.
Mm.
He takes the kids to the park for kind of get them out of your hair a little bit, and they leave around noon and come back between like 6 and 6:30.
Mm.
Okay. How was Kyrie when he got home?
He's just fine.
Was there anything out of the ordinary or anything?
Nothing. Okay. That's why I didn't understand.
What are some of his medical conditions? Do you know?
I don't think he had any.
Nothing.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I know he take ADHD meds, but that was it. But he didn't take none like when he's like in our care. He take them when he with his mother.
Did you have any interaction with Kyrie? Did he say anything like he was complaining about anything or anything like that?
He got his stuff like to go bathe with. And he went to go take a shower.
Okay. Well, bath or shower?
Oh, a bath.
Okay. Who do you know what order they took the baths in or anything like that? Was Kyrie like one of the last ones or one of the first ones?
I know he was before Jay Sean, and Jay Sean was the last one bathed. And usually I have the girls to go bathe before the boys.
Okay. So just to go over it again. So nothing, I guess, anything out of the ordinary when he got home. No medical conditions that you're aware of, but he only takes the ADHD medicine at his mom's house.
Right.
Okay. Didn't say anything to you like he wasn't feeling good or anything?
Nothing.
Okay. So you said he was one of the last ones to go take a bath?
Yes, he was. I know he was before Jay Sean and after the girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did they eat before or after the bath?
After, and he was the only one that didn't eat.
Okay, so Kyrie gets done with his bath. How long do you think he was in the bath for?
Not long, maybe 10 minutes.
What was it for dinner last night?
I bought McDonald's and pizza.
Which McDonald's did you go to?
The one right there on Missouri and Court.
What time do you think you went there?
I don't know. It was after 8:30.
Okay. Did you go through the drive-thru?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where were the kids when you went to McDonald's?
I had the girls with me, and Jay Sean stayed at the house.
Where was Kyrie at?
I was still laying down.
Okay. So, what time do you think the kids actually went to go take their showers or their baths?
After Tony did, and that was after 7:30.
So Tony was already gone when he took the shower.
Mm-hmm.
So they get done with the bath. Then do you go to McDonald's?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you come home.
It was after 8:30 when I went.
Okay. And the girls are with you, Jay Sean and Kyrie at the house.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm repeating things, it's just so I can kind of get in my mind, a good understanding of what happened. Okay.
Okay.
So Jay Sean and Kyrie are at the house.
Mm-hmm.
You get home. Do you immediately go just to and from McDonald's?
I went to a Hungry Howie's.
Okay.
And got me and Jay Sean some pizza.
Which Hungry Howie's was it?
The one on Drew Street.
Okay, so you go to McDonald's and Hungry Howie's.
And I came straight home.
Straight home, okay. And you said you get home about what time?
I don't know. I know it was after 8:30.
Okay. And you had mentioned that Kyrie's the only one that didn't eat.
Right.
So
I tried to wake him up. He didn't want to get up.
Was he sleeping before you left?
Yes.
Or tell me about how he got to bed and all that stuff.
He went to go lay down after he got dressed.
After the shower?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I should have been got up, but I just laid down and was playing on my phone.
Okay, so what time do you think he went to go lay down?
As soon as he got done bathing.
So sometime after 7:30?
Yes.
Okay. Did he say anything to you, like he didn't feel good at that point?
He didn't say nothing.
Did he look out of the ordinary, like something was wrong?
No.
Did he look tired or anything?
No.
Did he tell you he was going to go lay down? So he said, what's he quiet?
He was quiet. He didn't say nothing. He just went back in the room to go lay down.
Okay.
Because he sleep like in my son room.
Okay. I saw like a bed in there where it had like a pull-out thing. Is that where he sleeps?
Mm-hmm. On the pull-out.
Okay. So after his shower, he goes lay down. He doesn't say anything to you, but he goes to lay down. Okay. Now what? Now take me through. Did you see him before you left to go to get the food, or?
Yeah.
Or you didn't?
He was just asleep. I was like, well, I'm just gonna end up going to get some food and coming right back. That's what I told Jay Sean. He said, okay.
Okay. So you leave, get back, and where is Kyrie?
He was still laying down.
Still laying down. Was he still sleeping?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you go and talk me through the night. You know, you get home, he's still sleeping.
Yes.
What happens?
I think it was like around 10 or a little after 10. Me and my son ended up getting him up because he still haven't got up. And I was like, I don't want him to pee in the bed because he be peeing in the bed.
Okay.
So I couldn't pick him up by myself, so my son helped me put him in the tub.
So now he didn't pee last night in the bed, but he does pee in the bed, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you didn't want him to pee in the bed?
Right.
Okay.
So that's why I put him in the tub.
Okay.
He never woke up, but I did run the bath water to where to his thighs.
Okay. Can you stand up and show me, I guess, how you said that your son helped you carry him into the tub. How did you get him out of bed? Like, pretend that's the bed right there on the floor.
I told Jay-Sean to hold him like underneath his arms so we can get him up so we can put him in the tub.
Okay.
And so we put him in the tub, and I told Jay-Sean to lay him back, and so we could run the bath water.
Okay.
So when we ran the bath water, they only came up to here.
Okay.
It never filled his chest or nothing.
Okay.
My son just splashing water like on his chest.
Okay. When you got him up, you helped carry him, is that correct?
No.
To the tub?
Yeah, we helped him carry the tub, but he was like in the tub. I never got him out of the tub.
When you guys are carrying him from the tub from the bed to the tub, was he saying anything? What was he like?
He was still breathing.
Okay. How do you know he was breathing?
Cause I seen his chest.
Okay. Okay. So he was still breathing. But was he saying anything? Was he eyes open?
No, his eyes was closed.
Okay. How was his body?
You sleeping and your eyes a little open. His eyes was like that.
Okay. How was his body?
His body, nothing.
Was he on his back, on his stomach? Like, did you try to wake him up before you carried him?
Yes.
Okay, so how did you try to wake him up?
Yeah, cause I was like patting him on his thigh, and I was
Okay,
like
how hard?
Yeah.
Okay. And what was he doing? Was he
Nothing.
moving?
He wasn't moving at all.
Okay. So the reason why you brought him to the water because you were worried, obviously, right?
Yes.
He's not waking up. Okay.
Okay. Is that something you usually do?
Oh, that's the first time ever.
Okay. Who had the idea to put him in the bathtub?
My son, he's like, oh, mommy, maybe we should run some water on him. I was like, I don't know, is that gonna work? But I did call Tony, and I had told Tony that his son wasn't waking up. And he's like, well, what you mean? He's like, ain't you the parent? You should be able to know how to wake up a child. And I was like, Tony, he's not waking up. And he's like, well, if I end up getting off from work and I end up missing my hours, I was like, don't worry about it.
What he say? If I miss my hours, what did he say?
If he end up missing his hours, like, he's gonna be like really mad.
Okay. And what time do you think you called him?
I don't know. I know it's after 8. Cause I tried to wake him up.
Which phone did you use to call him?
I used my cell phone.
Okay. And is that number, is that the 727?
815.
2341? Okay. So, is that before you put him in the tub that you called him?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because so where were you? Deshaun came to you and said Kyrie's not waking up. Is that what happened?
No, he never came to me and said.
Okay. So how did you know he wasn't waking up?
I went in the room.
Okay. To get him something to eat.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I brought food for the kids.
Gotcha. So you're kind of hitting him, Kyrie, get up type thing, right? He ain't waking up.
Right, but okay. I had my son try to do it first, and he's like, "Mom, Kyrie's not getting up."
Okay.
I was like, "Boy, I would do it myself." Right.
Right. Get him up. Right. Okay.
So
when you brought the food home, you said it was about 8:30.
It was after 8:30.
Okay. Did you try waking him up at that time?
When I brought the food home.
Okay.
So I could feed him.
How did you do that?
I was hitting him on his thigh.
Okay. But that's not when you took him to the tub.
No.
Okay. So you bring the food home, you try to wake him up,
yeah,
and you're hitting him on his thigh like this. Okay.
And he never got up.
Okay. So how long were you trying to wake him up for at that point?
I say like 30 minutes or an hour or something.
I'm saying like just you're trying to wake him up and then you go get the kids something to eat, or you leave him sleeping and you go get the kids something to eat downstairs.
I left him sleeping.
Okay.
Yeah, and I went to go get the kids something to eat. Then when I came back, that's when I tried to wake him up again.
And this is about 8:30.
It was after 8:30.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what time.
But you end up leaving him there.
Yes, with my son, and I end up getting the food and come back.
Okay. But I'm saying you had said it was like 10:30
We tried
when
to
you
wake
put
him
him in
up.
the tub.
Yeah.
Okay. But prior to you putting him in the tub at 10:30, you tried waking him up a first time.
Right.
When you got back home with the food. So you get the food, you come home, and you try waking him up.
Mhm.
Correct? And that's about 8:30, correct?
With the food and stuff.
Because you said he was the only one that didn't eat.
Yeah.
Okay. So the other kids ate around 8:30.
It was a little after 8:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you go back in there at 10:30
Mhm.
and realize he didn't.
Get up.
Okay.
Because I didn't want him to wet the bed.
Okay. So then you hit him on the thigh again now for a second time.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Is that when Jay Sean was like, let's put him some
In the
water?
tub.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was the water hot, cold?
It was cold.
Okay.
So I thought he would have got up.
Like freezing cold or?
I don't think my water gets that cold.
Okay. So he's in the tub, you set up to his thigh?
Mhm.
Okay, what, do you know if it was covering his thigh, the water?
Mm-mm. It covers.
Can you show me on
It
YouTube?
just went like right there.
So like about here?
Yes.
Okay.
And you
And-
can see that if you got the stop in there, the water goes out.
Okay. So is the stop broke or something?
The type of stopper they gave me, it really don't fit.
Okay.
So I had the kids, try to fill the water, at a decent amount and hurry up and bathe before the water ended up going out.
Okay. Was he, when he was on his back, or I'm sorry, when he was sleeping, you said on his back or
On
stomach?
his back.
Okay. How was he in the tub? Like how was his body position?
The way that you seen how my tub was.
Mm-hmm.
So the way he was sitting, I had him sitting like that on the tub like this.
Okay. So if you have like I'm gonna draw a picture here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a good artist, okay? So here's where the like the stopper is.
Mm-hmm.
Where was he at?
He's right there.
He's right here.
Oh, excuse me.
So his feet. You okay? You okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So when you say he was right here, where was his feet?
His feet was right there.
And where was his head?
His head was up here.
Okay. Was he? You know how the tub kind of like raises up like
Yeah,
this?
like that. Yeah.
Okay.
But his back was like lean back.
On which part was his back leaning?
On the back of the tub.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he was kind of like leaning like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I could see like he's breathing from here.
Okay. But he's not moving, he's not saying anything. Why didn't you call 911 at that time?
I don't know. I thought he was just sleeping hard or something.
Were you worried?
Yes. That's why I kept on checking up on him.
Okay. So even though you were worried though, you didn't call 911?
No.
Okay. I mean, how come though? I mean, why wouldn't?
I don't know.
Okay. With his head there, it's now 10:30. You put him in there. How long was he in there for?
All night. I didn't move him at all.
Okay. When you say all night, what were the starting time was about 10:30, and then until what time?
Until this morning.
And what time was that, you think?
I think like around 8.
Around 8 this morning?
Yes.
Okay. What time did you fall asleep?
I think at 12 I fell asleep.
Okay. So at 12 you fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
And what time did you sleep until?
Until 4.
Okay.
And I got back up. I checked on him again. He was still breathing.
How was he at that time? Like, describe the tub to me at that time at 4?
He was still like leaning back in the tub.
Okay. Was there still water in the tub?
The water was already out. I ain't let the water out or nothing.
Okay, so at 4 o'clock when you woke up, you checked on him. He still leaned back in the tub,
Right.
but the water was out.
Right.
Okay. And did you try waking him up at that time?
Yes.
How did you try waking him up?
I hit him on his leg again.
Mhm.
He still didn't wake up, but I seen that he was still breathing.
Okay.
So I ended up laying back down again.
Were his eyes open or closed at that time?
He was still closed.
Okay. You go back. How long do you think you were there checking on him for?
Maybe like 15 minutes, and I ended up going back to sleep.
Okay. So were you standing over him for 15 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
I seen that he still breathing.
Okay. Can you show me how you checked to see how he was breathing or anything like that?
How I check?
Yeah.
Oh, I tried to see. I really don't know how to check, but I thought I was doing something, so I didn't see it. So I ended up putting my fingers up to his neck, and that's when I seen that he was still breathing.
Mm-hmm. Did that worry you at that time? That something was wrong?
It worried me a little bit. Yes, it did.
Okay. Listen, I'm not in your head, okay, and I'm not trying to, I'm not putting words in your mouth or anything like that, okay? So if you can just tell me, I guess, what was your thought process at that time? You said you were worried.
Yes.
What were you worried?
It was just all over the place. I didn't know.
Okay.
It's like my mind was like blank.
Okay. Okay. Did you try calling Tony at that time at all again?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I ain't calling him again until like 8 o'clock this morning.
Okay. Did you try calling 911 at 4?
No, I didn't.
All right. How come you didn't call them at 4?
I don't know.
Okay. So you're about 15 minutes. You said you checked and you put your hand right here. Is that right?
Right here in his neck.
Okay. But you could tell he was breathing? Okay. Eyes are still closed. Could you hear anything, as you're checking on him, could you hear any sounds that he was making or anything?
Yes.
What kind of sounds was he making?
Like that.
Okay. Did that worry you at all with the is that right?
It worried, but I didn't really think nothing of it. I just thought he was just sleeping really hard.
Okay. So you go back to bed around what time?
After after 4, and I went back to sleep.
Okay.
And then that's when I woke up at 8 o'clock this morning.
Okay. And then what happened when you got up at 8?
I see that he still didn't get up.
Okay.
And I had called my boyfriend. I was like, he's still not getting up. I was like, you need to hurry up and come home now.
Okay.
And so I waited for him to come home to call the paramedics to see can he wake up this morning.
Okay. So you called him. Did you call him from this number right here, the 815-2341? And you called him about 8 o'clock? Okay. And you say he's still not waking up. You need to come home, or what did you say?
I told him he need to come home.
Okay.
It's very serious.
Okay. And how long did it take him to get home?
I don't know. About 20-25 minutes.
Okay. So when he gets home, what happens?
I guess he tried to wake him up. It didn't work.
Did you see him try to wake him up?
I can't remember. Okay. I know he did try to, and then I seen him walking down the stairs, and I was like, what the hell? So I ended up calling the paramedics, and I was on the phone with the man the whole time.
Okay.
So I had my son help me put Kyrie on the floor because they told me to do CPR.
Okay.
So that's what I was doing until the paramedics.
You were doing CPR?
Until the paramedics that came.
Just to go back, when he gets home, where was Kyrie at when Tony got home?
Kyrie was still in the bathtub.
He was still in the bathtub. How come you didn't take him out at 8 o'clock when you got home, or when you woke up, saw he was still in there, realized it was very serious still? You knew it was serious enough to call Tony.
I didn't want to touch him until the paramedics had said, take him out the bathtub.
Okay. So Kyrie gets Tony gets there. Kyrie's still in the bathtub.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any water in the bathtub at this time?
No.
Okay. How many times did you fill the bathtub up?
Just that one time.
Okay. You said Tony tries to wake him up, that you think of, right? Because you didn't actually see it, right? Mm-hmm. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. You say you saw Tony coming downstairs, and you said to yourself, "What the hell?" Is that right?
Yes.
What were you when you said "What the hell"? What were you thinking?
I just called 911.
Were you like what was your thoughts like going through your head in order to call 911? Like, were you thinking?
My mind was everywhere. I didn't know like what to think. I was just hoping that he was like still alive. I didn't do nothing to him. I never gave him nothing. I would never hurt a child.
Okay.
So I'm not understanding like what happened.
Okay.
He was perfectly fine last night.
Okay.
What was it when you checked on him this morning? Was he still breathing before you called Tony?
It didn't look like he was breathing. So that's the reason why I called Tony.
You said it didn't look like he was.
No.
Did you touch him at all?
Mhm.
At 8 o'clock this morning you touched him?
Mhm.
Where'd you touch him at?
On his arms and his legs.
Okay. Well, at midnight and then at 4 you checked his chest. Excuse me. You checked his chest to see if he was breathing, right?
Mhm.
But this morning you checked his legs and his arms.
Mhm.
Did you check his chest?
I looked at his chest. I didn't see like nothing was like going on, and then I ended up checking right here, and I'm like, nothing. So that's the reason why I called Tony.
Okay. And when you
I
tell
probably should have called the paramedics first, but
Sure.
like I said, I wasn't even thinking.
Sure.
Like when my son had his seizure when he was young, my mind just went blank. The boyfriend I had at the time, he's like, let me blow in his face, and that's when he started breathing on his own.
Okay.
With stuff like this, I don't think. I just get really scared, and
Right. So when Tony comes home though, he goes upstairs and you stay downstairs?
I was standing by the stairs. I didn't go like
But you're at the bottom of the
downstairs.
stairs?
No, I was at the top of the stairs.
Oh, okay.
And I was just like looking in the bathroom.
Okay.
How was Tony trying to wake him up?
I think he was trying to put his head up to his mouth or something, and try to shake him. I don't know.
What did you actually see?
I think I seen him put his head up to his mouth, and then he just freaked out and just like walked out.
What was he saying? What was Tony saying?
He didn't say nothing.
And how did he freak out?
I seen him put his shirt over his head. That's it.
Okay. So Tony walks downstairs. You say to yourself, "What the hell?"
Mm-hmm.
You call 911. While you're on the phone with 911, where was Tony?
I don't know. He wasn't upstairs.
Okay.
And I was just in the bathroom. And the man had told me whoever I was talking to, he had told me to take Kyrie out the tub and try to do CPR on him. And I was doing CPR until the paramedics that came.
So you called 911 from your phone?
Mm-hmm.
When you're on the phone with 911, they tell you to take him out the tub?
Mm-hmm.
You take him out the tub, and where do you take him?
He was just laying on the floor in the bathroom.
Okay. And you said the 911 was telling you to do CPR?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How were you doing the CPR?
He told me to put my hands on his chest and breathe in his mouth.
Okay. Did you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you know how many times you did it?
No, I wasn't keeping track. Whatever the man was telling me, that's
Okay.
what I was doing.
And where was Tony at this time?
I don't know. He wasn't upstairs with me and Kyrie.
He was not?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Could you hear Tony saying anything or anything like that?
He didn't say nothing.
Okay. So you're doing the CPR. Now what happens?
And that's when the paramedics ended up coming. I don't know how long I was doing it until they came.
Okay. Did they take care of Kyrie right there? Do the medical attention right there in the bathroom?
Yeah, at first they started to, but then it's like, no, they had to bring him downstairs. So that's when they had brought him downstairs.
Okay. The paramedics brought him downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And where was Tony at that time?
I don't know.
Okay. I guess you had told the officer on scene that Tony ran out of the apartment. Is that right?
Yes, that's his only child.
Okay. But he was gone for about 15 minutes, right?
I don't know.
Okay. The information that we had when we got there was that he had been gone for about 15 minutes. I guess you had told the officer on scene for about 15 minutes he was gone. Why did he take off in those 15 minutes? Like, where did he go and what did he do?
I don't know. I was just around the paramedics and the officer at the scene. I didn't go nowhere.
You had said earlier you didn't give Kyrie anything or anything like that.
No.
So there's not going to be any medicine or anything in his system.
No.
when we check his blood and all that stuff, right?
It's not gonna be in the system.
Okay. At any time, did you touch him at all, like in a physical manner, or where you discipline him at all, Leslie?
I don't
It's
discipline him.
okay to discipline children, okay?
It is, but he's not my child. And when Tony tried to discipline him, he'll go back and tell his mama.
Okay.
So Tony had stopped doing it.
But what I'm concerned with is last night. Did anybody discipline him last night?
No.
Okay. So there's not going to be like any marks or anything like that on him, is that correct?
No.
Okay.
You can understand that, a 6-year-old boy passed away, right? And tough questions are gonna come out, right? And they're gonna ask you and stuff like that. So it's better to get those questions answered here than down the road, right? You would agree with that? So, I mean, I have to ask, did you do anything to Kyrie?
I don't touch him at all.
Okay.
I barely whip my own kid.
Okay, I understand, but I have to ask you, okay? How does he get along with your son? How does he get along with your son?
He get along with my son. He look up to my son like a big brother.
They don't fight, they don't like that? Okay. Have you ever seen Tony or anything like that hit Kyrie or get kind of grab him and gets mad at him sometimes? You know how parents get frustrated, stuff like that. Did that ever happen?
I mean, it happened in the past,
Okay.
but
Like what?
he don't hit him. You know what I'm saying? When he disciplined his son, I remember times he had like 2 jugs of water and put the water inside a bag and had his son just hold it up.
Okay.
And had him like squat.
Okay.
Okay. Like squat against the wall?
Yeah.
As he was holding water up?
Yeah.
Well, how long ago did that happen? Roughly.
When we stayed at Kings Highway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So when was like the most recent thing he did, like to discipline his kid like that? Like what other kind of things he would do?
Tony probably popped him because Kyrie go back and tell his mom everything, so he don't put his hands on his son.
When you say pop him, like, can you just show him?
Like pop him like that.
Okay. And how long was that? How long ago, you think?
I don't know. I think it was like last week or the week before last when we had him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know if he had to do that when they were at the park or anything like that yesterday?
I don't think so. And if he did, Tony didn't say nothing to me.
Okay.
Because he don't tell me what he do to his son or anything like that.
Okay.
But he's a good father. He ain't gonna hurt his son.
And we're not saying, that he did, okay? We just have to ask the questions. If we don't ask the questions, we don't know.
Because people are going to ask, right? I mean, people are going to want to know, and I'm sure you want to know.
You got to imagine that. Where's your children? Like, where's their father at right now?
They not there.
Okay, but if something like this happened and they were at their father's house, you as the mother would want to know certain questions, right?
Yes.
You would have certain questions.
Yes.
Okay, and that's what we're just trying to collect everything for ourselves and the investigation and get the answers, okay, to actually what happened. Okay, you can understand that, right? Okay, so just to go over it again, you're saying you did not give him anything, you didn't physically, in a disciplined manner, touch him at all last night, or anything like that. And then from what you're aware of, Jay Sean and him didn't get into a fight or anything, and you don't know if anything happened at the park or anything like that, though, correct?
Correct.
Okay. How come you told the officer on scene that when they got back from the park, he was lethargic, like he was tired?
Yeah, he did look like he was tired. Well, all the kids looked like they was tired from playing out.
Okay. So, was there anything out of the ordinary, though? Like,
they was out there, 6-7 hours playing.
Okay. But what I'm getting at, you said he wasn't any different than the other kids, correct? As far as
he wasn't different from all the kids.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, just real quick before you step out. Besides today, have you ever called 911 before? Have you ever had to call 911 for anything?
I called 911 before.
For what was that for?
When me and my ex had got into it.
So you called before? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And again, the tough question is, so you got a 6-year-old boy in your house, you try to wake him up a couple times, and he's in the tub. You're going to put him in a tub with your son, kind of carrying him, right? Because your son's got his hands under his arms. And, you know, you call your boyfriend, he's like, take care of it, wake him up. You know, you're a parent. What makes you think he didn't need help? Like, did you think something was wrong, or what did you think?
I
like, for 2 years, he lives with you for 2 years, right?
Yes, I thought he was like in a deep sleep.
As is normal?
No, this was like the first time.
Right, so this is completely abnormal from the deep sleep before, right?
Yeah, because usually like when he sleeps, we have to get him up like 3 or 4 times before he actually get up.
Right.
Because he pee in the bed.
Yeah, but he gets up.
Yeah.
Right. So after 3 or 4 times and he ain't getting up, something's wrong.
Right.
Right? So, you know, we teach little kids nowadays and stuff like that, something's wrong, call 111. I'm just trying to figure out why. Like, there's got to be a why. You don't know why?
I wasn't even thinking.
Okay.
Now, I'm not the drug police. I don't care about any of that, okay? But I guess for me, it's not normal for Tony to take off for approximately 15 minutes when his son, in all senses in there, dying, okay? I don't care if there's drugs or anything in the house or anything like that. Did he take something and go hide it somewhere or anything like that
No,
you're aware
sir.
of? Okay.
He didn't.
All right.
He's just going through it. That's how he reacts.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
You got any questions for us?
Okay. Now I know, just since I'm saying it right, Jaishan? Since he did, you know, he's 10, he's old enough to, you know, have his thoughts and stuff like that. Is it okay if I talk to him? I need to talk to him, just since he kind of had a little bit of a part in what developed, type of thing, okay? Is that okay?
Yes, but I would rather be around him when you talk to him.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
If I can just, you know, he remembers things, you know, how he remembers. We all remember things differently, okay? Can you just make sure that when he's telling me, let him tell the story and...
No, I'm not going to say that.
Okay. Just because I don't want to confuse him, I'd rather have it that's how he remembers it, that's how he remembers it, okay? Fair enough? Okay. Give us just 1 minute, okay? Are you okay? Do you need any water or anything like that? Do you want to use the restroom? Is your stomach a little bit better?
A little bit, but it still hurts.
Listen, if you need to use the restroom, you go out here and make a right, and you know where it's at, right? And then you don't need any water or anything like that? Okay. All right, give me just a minute, okay? What time around about what time did you leave to go get the food with the girls?
I think around 8:30.
You left around 8:30. Okay.
Do you have a receipt or anything like that that would show the time or anything?
I think it might be in my purse at home.
Did you pay cash or card?
Card. But it might be on my... Oh, it only says the date. It don't say the time.
Is the card in your name? Okay. And that was at the Hungry Howie's on Drew. And what Drew and what? I'm trying to think.
I know if you go up Drew and you pass King.
Okay.
After King.
Off to the
right.
Yeah.
I mean the left side.
And then so Drew and King, and then the McDonald's at Missouri and Court. Which one did you go to first?
I went to the McDonald's first, and then I went to the Hungry Howie's.
So you said that, and if there's anything that I'm saying that's not accurate, let me know, okay? You said Tony left around 7:15 or 7:30 to go to work?
No, he left, between 7 and 7:30.
Okay. The kids took a bath before or after him?
After him.
So what time do you think the kids took a bath?
I know tonight went to go take a bath as soon after he left. I want to say all the kids. I know that all the kids was done before I went to go get the food at 8:30.
Okay. Including Jay Sean and
all the kids.
Kyrie?
Mhm.
Okay. So 8:30, the kids are done taking a bath. Is it accurate that Jay Sean and Kyrie were the last two to take a bath? Okay. When you left at around 8:30...
what are you doing then? Like, before you leave, like, what are the kids doing?
The girls in the room, and Jay Sean was in, and Kyrie was in the room. Kyrie was laying down on the bed.
Okay.
And that's around 8:30? Okay. Was he awake at the time, or?
No, he was asleep.
Okay, so after his bath,
he went right.
He goes to bed. And around 8:30 is when you go to get the food, and he's sleeping.
Did he say anything after getting out of the shower to his bed? He didn't say nothing to you?
Did he even tell you he was going?
No, in the room.
You were in your room? Okay, what were you doing?
On my phone.
On your phone, okay. So you're on your phone playing, the kids are taking a bath.
Did he even tell you he was going to lay down or anything?
No.
Okay.
Okay. So, because I thought earlier you said that he said he wasn't feeling well, and then you should have gotten up because you were playing on your phone.
I didn't say he wasn't feeling well.
Or did you say his stomach something, or I thought you were saying...
You said something about you were on your phone, you should have got up.
Yeah, I was on my phone.
Okay.
The whole time.
Okay. All right, so he comes out and he just goes right to the room.
Yes. He dropped his the towel off in my room.
Okay.
And then he went in the room because he didn't have on the shirt. He had on his drawers and his shorts. Cause that's what he usually sleeps in.
Okay.
Yeah.
When he dropped the towel off, explain that. Like, what did he do?
He just dropped the towel.
Did he say anything?
No. He asked me where to put it at. Of course, I told him to just put it on the bed and just go.
How did his voice sound when he asked to?
He just sound normal.
Okay. Now you had said that they got home from the park around 6 or 6:30. So from 6 or 6:30 to let's say.
I know it was about 6:30 when he got home.
So about 6:30.
Because he said that he supposed to been at work overnight at 6.
Okay.
And I was like, well, why you here? And then he told me he wanted to take a shower before he go. So I told him just take a shower first, and the kids can bathe after him.
Okay. So from 6:30 to 7:30, what were the kids doing in that time?
The girls was in their room, and Jay Sean and Kyrie was in his room.
Okay. And you were in your room, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Trying to think. Oh, so you think you have the receipts at the house? Okay. And then what was the other?
Well, I just wanted to make sure I got my times right. So 7:30 he leaves. Kids are all taking a bath. Kyrie comes in, just drops off the towel, goes into the room. That's the last time you see him awake.
Yes, sir.
Right. So between like 7:30, because 8:30 around, you leave to get the food. So between 7:30, did you try to wake him up before you went to get the food?
Yeah, I tried to wake him up. He didn't want to get up.
Okay. Was he still wearing the same clothes?
Yes. So
Okay.
Jay Sean said he was going to stay at the house with him.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then I went to go get the food, me and the girls.
Okay, because normally he'd go with you? Okay. So
Usually
now,
I would have took all the kids with me, but Kyrie was asleep.
okay. Now, when you try to wake him up then, what'd you do? Did you try to do the whole leg thing? Was he breathing?
Yes.
How'd you check he was breathing?
I seen right here.
You could see him?
Yes.
Okay. He wasn't gurgling, nothing like that, just sleeping on his back, stomach?
Yes, on his back.
On his back? Okay. What was your son doing at the time? Because he was in the room too, right?
Yes.
Okay, what was
he was
doing?
just looking. Because at first, I had told him to go get Kyrie up.
Okay.
And then he's like, Mom, I did. He didn't wake up. And I was like, really? I was like, well, whatever.
Okay.
So I went to go wake him up.
Okay.
And I seen that he wasn't getting up.
Now, that's what you said. He didn't want to get up. Did he verbalize that, or was he just not getting up?
He wasn't getting up. That's what I meant to say.
Okay. Gotcha. So then you come back with the food. Kids all eat. Did you try to wake them up when you came back?
Yes.
And what time do you think you got back with the food around about?
I don't know.
But you left around 8:30.
Give a guess. Hour? Half hour?
Like a half an hour.
Okay. So like I said, these are all about 9 o'clock? Sorry, my question.
Did you go so however long it took to go from your apartment to McDonald's to Hungry Howie's and back? Did you make any other stops?
No, sir.
Okay.
So you try to wake them up? How you try to wake them up? You do, you specifically.
Jay Sean tried to wake him up first.
Okay.
That didn't work. So I went to go wake him up.
Okay, and then same thing.
Same thing.
Okay, now was he in the same spot, position he was? He didn't move?
At all.
Okay. Were you worried?
Yes.
Okay, you were concerned?
Yes.
So what were you thinking? You just gonna let him sleep?
I ended up calling my boyfriend. I asked him.
Okay.
I was like, Kyrie is not waking up.
Okay.
Is something wrong? He's like, no. He's like, they was perfectly fine at the park. And he's like, I was like, I don't know. I was like, he's not getting up. He's like, man, you're a parent. You should be able to get a child up.
Right.
I was like, well, whatever. So I ended up hanging up the phone because I ain't want to start arguing.
You want to deal with that, right?
Yeah.
At what time do you think that was again?
I don't know. I know it's after 8.
Because that's when
it was
came
from
home with food.
the time with the kids.
The kids are eating.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like 9:30ish, because the kids are eating, because you don't want to wake them up to eat.
I can show you my phone call.
Okay.
I called him.
Okay.
How long? Yeah, we're not disputing that. We're just trying to. How
Yeah.
long he didn't look good? Is it easy to say that? That even though he was breathing, you were still concerned for him because you would call Tony, something's not right type of thing, and he said you're a parent, figure it out type of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you were still concerned that something was wrong.
Yes.
Okay. Remember the tough questions, okay? Like my partner said, okay. Well, why didn't you call the police? You had 4 different times or 3 different times here that you were concerned for his safety. You're concerned for his, life at that point. Why didn't you call the police or 911?
I don't know. I wasn't thinking. I thought he was still breathing. I thought he still was going to still breathe when I checked on him again.
Even though he was still breathing, you're still concerned for him, though.
Yes.
As a 33-year-old woman and a parent of what,
3 kids.
3 kids, right? Or 4?
Mm-hmm.
3 kids. You knew enough that something wasn't right.
Right.
People are gonna want to know why you didn't call 911.
I didn't know what to do. I thought when I woke up at 8, he was still going to be the same way. I didn't think that.
What made you leave him in the tub all night and not move him to the bed?
I didn't want to move.
Why not?
I didn't want to move him.
Why?
I don't know.
Well, if he was sleeping, wouldn't he be more comfortable in the bed than the tub?
Probably, yeah.
So you didn't want to move him from the tub?
I was hoping that he was still going to be all right. He was still going to breathe.
Well, he was still going to breathe.
Well,
that means he was breathing. See what I was getting at?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know. It's not going to work. So we gotta kind of focus on this because I don't know. It's all going to work on this. We're going to have to know. So I'm leaving him in the tub all night. I don't know why I left him in the tub instead of moving him to the bed. And then it looked like he was breathing.
I was scared to move him.
Okay.
From
why
the tub
though?
to the. I don't know.
See, that's things that we need to know. Okay, if you were scared, you need to let us know what you were thinking.
I wasn't thinking. I wasn't thinking as a parent.
Okay. Did you were when Tony came home and he went in the bathroom, right? You saw him go in the bathroom. Did Tony try to give any medical aid to him or any medical care?
All I seen Tony was like trying to wake him up,
Right.
and he didn't get up.
Okay.
So once I seen him do that, the first thing I thought was to call 911.
Right. Because he ain't waking up now.
Yes.
How was Tony trying to wake him up?
I don't know. I know he was trying to put his head up to his mouth.
Okay.
You mean Kyrie's head up to Tony's mouth? Okay.
Did he take him out of the tub at all?
No. He just left him at. Yeah.
Did he pick him up at all?
No.
No. And then he left. He said he put the shirt over his head or something and just walked out.
Yeah.
You didn't say where the hell you going?
I didn't say nothing.
You didn't say that's your son?
I didn't say nothing. He didn't say nothing.
Okay.
So I ended up calling the paramedics.
Because you called, right? Because then something's obviously wrong. Did he say he's not breathing or nothing?
Oh, he didn't say nothing.
Okay.
Once he started looking crazy, and I just said, I'm just going to end up calling the police.
You understand that it is important for us to talk to. Would Jay Sean then be the last one to actually see Kyrie alive, basically, like awake and talking? Okay. I don't want him to see you upset or anything like that. My lieutenant said that if you want to watch the interview in his office, you can do that. Would that be okay with you if I could talk, to Jay Sean?
He could be in there with my mom.
What's that?
Jay Sean. My mom could be in there with him.
I'm saying, can I talk to Jay Sean? Jay Sean?
You could talk to Jay Sean, but I want my mom in there with him.
Okay. Can you guys watch the interview and you can watch it on a screen?
I could watch it on the screen, but I want my mom to be in there with him.
Okay. All right. Give us just a minute, and then we will rotate. Okay? Are you okay? All right. Want any pizza? All right, Shantay, over the last couple hours, we've gone and done several different things, okay, to further the investigation, okay? Obviously, you're aware already that Kyrie didn't make it, okay, that he did pass away, okay? We've looked at video, we've talked to your son, we talked to your mom, we talked to Kyrie's mother, we talked to a lot of different people, okay, and they're actually doing the autopsy right now as we speak, okay. Do you know what an autopsy is? Where they can definitely tell what, if anything, was taken. They know, if there was anything physical or anything like that. So as we're speaking, we've got a detective down there right now, okay? So we've done lots of different things, okay? We just need you to be honest with us, okay? Can you do that?
I am.
Okay, once they got home from the park, can we go over again with exactly what happened, okay? So it was you said about 6:30 they get home from the park, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What happened once they got home from the park?
I had Tony to take a shower so he can go to work.
Okay.
Because he told me he had to be there at 6.
Okay.
And after he got out, I had the kids to take a bath. After that, like I said, excuse me.
How was Kyrie when he got home? You said that he was tired?
He was acting normal.
Your son said that Kyrie was kind of like bouncing all over the place at the park and stuff, kind of like real upbeat, stuff like that. I know he has ADHD, is what you had said.
Mm-hmm.
So how was he when he got home? Was he still bouncing around off the walls and stuff like that, or?
I don't think so. I was in a room on my phone.
Okay.
So I really didn't pay attention.
Okay. Were you in your room the entire time on the phone?
Yes.
What were you doing on the phone?
I was looking at Facebook, on YouTube. I'm playing my game.
Okay. Once they got home, did you and Tony take the kids out in the backyard or something like that at all?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're on Facebook, you're playing your game. Were you in your room when they got home, or were you somewhere else in the house?
When they got home,
Yeah.
I was downstairs with my client.
And then that's when she left, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So she leaves, and do you immediately go up to your bedroom?
No, I don't.
Okay, take me through all that. Once the client leaves, you're downstairs, they get home, what happens?
when she left, I was just cleaning everything up, and
Okay.
then I went back upstairs.
Okay. Is that when you went to your room?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Tony takes a shower, he leaves,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's the kids' turn to take their baths.
Right.
Okay. You had said that Kyrie and your son were the last to take baths?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So once Kyrie gets out of the bathtub, go from there and explain what happened.
He brought his towel in the room because he asked me where to put it at, and I told him just leave it on the bed and go back in the room with Jay Sean,
Okay.
and that's what he did.
Okay. Is that towel still there right now?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you know what color his towel was?
No.
Okay. So how was his demeanor at that time when he asked you? What was he like at that time?
He was normal to me. He was just a little tired, and I didn't think nothing of it, and he ended up going to lay down.
Okay.
So when I went to go check up on him, because I wanted to go get them something to eat, he was asleep.
Okay. And where was he sleeping at?
On the bottom bed in my son's room.
Okay. Now you say he was on the bed. You know, was he on the floor, on the actual floor?
Mm.
No, because it looked like that there was no sheets or anything. There was no bedding on that bottom bed or anything like that.
Because he wet the bed all the time,
Okay.
so he ain't put like no sheet.
Who pulls the bed out for them?
I don't know. I think the kids do it themselves.
Okay.
Because I don't think it's that heavy for them. They couldn't do it.
Okay. So you check on him, and then what happens from there?
I went to go check up on him, and I was telling Jay Sean I'm finna go get something to eat. And he said that he was gonna stay home with Kyrie, and I told him I was gonna take the girls with me. I said keep an eye on Kyrie and make sure he's still breathing. So I went to go get the kids McDonald's and went to go Hungry Howie's, and I came back home.
Okay. And when you came home, what exactly did you do?
The kids ate, because I think my baby girl, she was like already eating in the car, so she was the first one done. So I had told Jay Sean he could sit at the table and eat while I go like try to wake up Kyrie.
Okay.
And when I tried to wake him up, he still didn't get up.
Okay. So, at what time did you guys decide to put him in the tub?
I don't know. It was like probably 10:30.
And whose idea was that?
My son.
Okay. And who actually put him in the tub?
Me and my son did, because I couldn't pick him up by myself.
Okay. At any time, did he hit his head or anything that you're aware of or anything like that? Did you hear anything like his head hitting anything?
He hit his head lightly on the tub, because my son was trying to help. I said, no, babe, you can't do that. I said, let me do it. So I end up like leaning him, you know what I'm saying, back on the tub, and that's when we end up filling the tub up with water.
Okay. And you said it only went up to about mid-thigh?
Yes.
Okay. Never covered his leg or anything? Never covered his chest or anything like that?
No, my son splashed water on him, and he still didn't get up.
Okay. And then you check on him again at what time?
At 12.
At 12?
Yes, right before I went to sleep.
And what happens at 12?
I checked to see was he still breathing, which he was, and then I ended up laying back down.
Okay. You lay down and then you get up at what time?
I got up at 4, I think, or 4 something, and I checked up on him again.
Okay.
And then I looked inside the tub. I didn't see he like pee or anything, so he was still breathing. So that's when I lay back down.
Okay. So that's at 4. You said earlier about 15 minutes. And then when do you wake up next?
I woke up at 8 o'clock.
Okay. And at 8 o'clock, what did you see?
I see that he wasn't breathing.
Okay.
And that's when I had called my boyfriend. and told him it was an emergency. He needed to come home. Kyrie still hadn't woke up. I thought my boyfriend was gonna be able to get him up, and I see that he didn't. So that's the reason why I had called the paramedics after he did it.
I listened to the 911 call. Okay, I could tell that you were concerned, you were frantic. Okay, that at that time you were wanting help at that time. Okay, what do you guys give him for some sleep medication?
Melatonin, but we haven't gave the kids that in a while.
When was the last time you think you gave the kids that?
I think a month.
Okay, and how much would you give all the kids that, or?
Yes.
Okay, and what was the dose?
I don't know. It was like the kids brand, so
Okay.
everybody get like one. My son, he rather take 2.
Okay.
Cause it's take him longer to fall asleep.
And usually with the melatonin, what was their reaction? I guess.
They get tired and go to sleep.
Okay.
They said it's nothing in it, and it's supposed to be all natural.
Okay. How come you didn't give them the melatonin in a month? Yes, I think you said a month. How come you didn't give it to them in a month?
First I started doing stuff on time, and then I just stopped.
What do you mean on time?
I try to get used to doing things like a routine and stuff.
Okay.
And then my mind ended up forgetting like after a day or 2, and then I just completely stopped.
Okay. Explain to me about JT. Who is JT?
That's my nephew.
That's your nephew. Does he come and stay a little bit?
Sometimes.
And does he have ADHD?
I don't know what he has, but he has something.
Okay. When he's at your house,
Mm-hmm.
Do you give him any medications or anything?
Mm-hmm.
Can you take me through that process? Like what do you give him and all that stuff?
Sometimes I don't remember what I give him. I have to call my mama or my sister.
Okay.
Because I don't. It's like not like a routine I give him, so I don't know.
Okay.
And sometimes, like I said, I call and see, because I think one of his medicine he got to eat with applesauce.
Okay.
And then the other one he got to eat after he. The other one he got to take after he eat.
Okay. And how does that make him once you give him the medication?
JT.
Yeah.
He calms down, cause he'll get up like earlier than everybody and be up.
Okay. But you don't know what the medication's called?
No.
And then does your mom, does she kind of like write out all the instructions and stuff like that for you, or you just know what to give him and all that stuff?
I just call.
You call her. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time he was over the house?
It's been a while.
Okay. Was there any medication like that at the house or anything like that?
For JT?
Yeah.
Like left at my house?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
He take everything back with him when he go home.
Were you ever given instructions on like, okay, if JT say something were to happen to him while taking that medication, were you ever given instructions on like what to do in order to how to help him and all that stuff?
No.
Okay, because I talked to your mom and she said that she puts him in a tub, or if you were to overdose on it, put him in a tub of water and have cold water and stuff like that. Had you ever been told that or anything?
She never told me that.
Okay.
Because it never happened to me.
Okay. So she never told you, hey, if he were to overdose on his medication, do this or that or anything like that?
Because I always take it when she tell me how to give it to him.
Okay. Like I said, you were frantic last night. Okay, you're trying to deal with 5 children. I imagine even your son had said that Kyrie was kind of all over the place playing, and he knew how he could be kind of like, he's a real happy kid, but he is kind of like wild at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
And sometimes you gotta keep on telling him, not to do this, not to do that.
Right. It's my understanding he's a great kid, but just kind of the same thing was you have to tell him, do this, do that.
Right.
Did you have to tell him last night or anything like that to do this or do that? Okay. Because 6-year-old children just don't up and die. Okay? We need to find out what happened to him. Okay, and that's what part of the autopsy, when they're doing that right now, like I said, what do you think they're going to find at the autopsy?
I don't know.
What do you think they're going to find in his system?
I don't know. I didn't give him nothing.
Okay,
I promised I didn't give him nothing.
Right. This is the thing, okay?
If I would have gave him something, that means my kids would have got something too.
Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily, okay? It's easy to explain, okay? You know, before, you know, when you tell, you know, if you were to have given him something, it's easy to explain right now instead of finding it out after the fact.
But I didn't give him nothing. You can ask my son. I didn't give them nothing last night.
Okay. I guess it was said that Kyrie didn't want to come over to the house because Tony makes him exercise and stuff like that.
I don't know. That's what she's saying. I don't know.
Okay.
But when he over with us, he don't act like that. Like he don't want to be around us. He plays with the kids. He's happy with his dad.
Okay. Yeah.
And I remember one time I had talked to him, because somebody, Tony had told me that, you know, his baby mama don't like me. And I asked Kyrie, and I said, Kyrie, do you like me? He's like, no. I said, why? He just shrugged his shoulder. I said, it's because your mom don't like me? He shook his head. So after a while, I let him play with the kids, and I asked him again. I said, Kyrie, you like me? He shook his head and started smiling.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay. I said, she just probably just be filling his head up.
Yeah, and that could be, and that happens to kids in that situation. Like a situation where, you know, they're trying to be loyal to their mom, but at the same time, they're really enjoying where they're at with their dad, and maybe he felt like by him liking you was kind of being disloyal to his mom, but deep down inside you guys had some type of connection.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And you've known him for what, 2 years?
Yes.
Or actually you've known him for his whole life, right?
Yeah, because me and his dad got start messing around. We wasn't together.
Okay.
Because the guy I was dating, he was in prison.
Okay.
And he got out of prison in April 2014.
Okay. But when you were with his dad, you never really saw the kids or anything? But in the last 2 years, you've had that bond with Kyrie, and he's grown to show that he likes you.
Yes.
Right? Along with, kind of like you're his family, right?
Yes.
And those are his brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like I said, right now we just need to find out what happened. Okay, because like I said, just kids don't just die. Okay, it's my understanding he was healthy. There's no medical issues, no nothing like that. Okay, would you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We're going to have to ask some tough questions like we talked about. Okay, and we asked some tough questions before. Okay, but they're questions that have to be answered. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Before we do that, okay. Before I ask the tough questions, okay, I just want to read you your Miranda rights, okay? Have you ever had those read to you before? Okay. Like I said, there are going to be some tough questions, but before I do that, I just need to read this to you, okay? All right. You have the right to remain silent. If you give up the right to remain silent, anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer before being questioned and have a lawyer present with you while you are being questioned. Okay. Having those rights in mind, do you wish to talk to me?
And talk about what?
Just the same stuff that we've been talking about. That's okay?
Yes.
Okay. Listen, it is very evident. Okay, I have 2 kids of my own. Okay, it's very evident that you love Kyrie and that you had a connection with him like he was your own kid. and I'm sure he had that same connection with you. Okay? All we need to find out is, what happened? What did he take? Just because, do you agree that it's just that children just don't die, especially a 6-year-old boy? He's healthy, doesn't have any medical issues wrong with him or anything like that. Okay? If you gave him something, okay, it was said that you waited too long on tape. You said, I waited too long. Okay? You even told your mom, he was in my care. He was in my care. Okay? That's okay. That's okay. We just need to know, and we just need to know the truth for him of what actually happened. Because some of the stuff just doesn't make sense. Okay? What actually happened?
I told you. And that is the honest truth.
Okay.
I didn't give him nothing. I know I waited too late. That's the reason why he died. I would do nothing to him.
You waited too late for what, though?
To call the paramedics.
What makes you think you waited too late?
Because he was dead at 8. He was still breathing at 10, 12, 4 o'clock in the morning. I was scared. I wasn't thinking. And I thought if I could wait for his dad to get home, his dad was going to be able to wake him up. It was just a mistake. I didn't mean to. I didn't give him nothing.
Okay. You're a mom of 3 kids, right? Okay. He falls asleep. You're shaking him. You're doing everything you can. Your son's tickling his foot. Not waking up, right? But you said you can check. You can see he's breathing, right? That's one time. Hours go by. You try to wake him up again. Shake him. Do everything you can. Your son tries to wake him up. You put him in a bathtub. Can't wake him up, right? But you can see he's breathing in. You don't call help then. You go to bed at midnight. Midnight, hours go by. He's the same way. He's not getting better. You're riding out. Whatever's happening to him, you're going to let happen to him. Okay? So that's the 3rd time. You wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. You check on him. You say he's breathing, but he's not responding again. Okay? 8 o'clock in the morning, you said he's dead. Okay? Something is going on, or something has happened. Why the police weren't called or paramedics weren't called? There is. And shaking your head no.
It's just not reasonable.
Yeah, shaking your head
I
no.
could take a lie detector test.
What?
I didn't give him
Listen,
nothing.
what are they going to find in his system?
I don't know. I didn't give him nothing. I swear to God, I didn't give him nothing.
Okay. Did Tony give him something?
No. I asked Tony last night, did he give him something? He said no. They was just only at the park playing. That's it.
Okay.
What is at the house that could cause something like this?
I don't know. Hair products. He know not to go in nothing.
What? He knows not to go and where? I'm sorry.
The hair products.
What medication do you have at the house?
My son meds, but I keep him in the kitchen on top of the counter, and his rescue inhaler or his other inhaler is like on the counter in the kitchen.
What about in your bedroom?
In my bedroom?
Yeah.
I have muscle relaxers in my room.
Okay. Where are those at?
On my dresser.
What else do you have?
I also have Oxy.
Oxy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What else?
That's it.
Who's the Oxy prescribed to?
For me.
It's for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For what?
For my bag.
Were you in a car accident or something?
I was in 2 car accidents.
I'm sorry. Is it pretty bad pain? What else is there?
That's it.
All right. Some of the questions that I'm asking you already know the answers to. Okay, but there's a purpose for those. Okay, to see how honest you're going to be with even those questions. Okay. Like I said, I'm not the drug police. I don't give 2 shits about stuff. Okay, what I'm here for is a 6-year-old dead child that's never coming back. Okay, and as a police officer, you need to find out what happened to him. Okay, so what other stuff is in the house that could be in his system?
I don't know.
Like I said, if you lie to me on some of the questions that I already know the answers to, then how do I know that I can trust you on some of the other stuff?
I told you. I told you everything I got in the house.
There's ecstasy in the house. I don't care. Okay, but
I forgot about that. I'm sorry.
okay, but if you just like I explained to you, if you're gonna lie to me on some stuff that doesn't even matter, how can I trust you on this other stuff? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you didn't know. Come on, you're a 33-year-old woman.
I mean, I wasn't.
You seem educated to me. Okay, I don't care if there's ecstasy in the house, but how can I trust you? What else is in the house?
Weed.
What else?
That's it.
Okay, where was the ecstasy?
On my nightstand. In a green bottle.
Do you know how important it is to find out exactly what happened to him? Right now, his mother is, whether you guys get along or not, she is grieving the death of her child. I know that you've had 2 children pass. So you know exactly how she's feeling right now. Right?
Yes.
I've never had that happen to me, and I hope to God it never does. But you know how that feels. Okay? You're on 911, crying, begging, pleading for help. You have 5 children there that you're trying to take care of and do the best that you can, and you're doing a good job. They depend on you. You're giving them food. You're taking care of them. You've got one that's not waking up, but you're doing your best to try to get him woken up and stuff like that. You're doing your best. You call Tony, and he tells you, take care of it. Take care of it. It's not even your child. His dad is at work, and he says, you take care of it. You have children. You should be able to take care of it, or something like that. Okay? It's understandable to give him something. It's understandable to give him something to make him go to sleep. You didn't know that this would happen. Okay? But it's understandable. A reasonable person's going to be like, you know what? She did everything she could. Right? I already know he was bouncing off the walls. Your son said he was bouncing off the walls.
But I ain't give him nothing.
What other sleep medication did you guys give to the kids other than melatonin?
That's it.
What do you think they're going to find at the autopsy? Because like I said, we have a detective there right now.
Well,
If you had to guess, what do you think they're going to find?
I don't know.
Some of the tough questions that my partner said that we have to ask, they have to have an answer to. And I don't know just doesn't cut it sometimes. a reasonable person would have called 911 after the first time that he wasn't waking up. You decided to put him in a tub with cold water. That's not just a coincidence that your mom had told me that she did the same thing to JT. Okay, so I'm thinking somewhere along the line that you knew to somehow put him in that tub to try to help him.
I didn't give him nothing. My son, the one that had told me, maybe we should put him in a tub, Mommy. I was like, okay, maybe we should do that, thinking that it was going to work. I never gave him nothing.
Were you on the phone with Tony when this was all going on? Were you on the phone with Tony when this was going on, getting him in the bathtub?
No, that's before I ended up putting him in the bathtub.
Okay. Because the I don't knows aren't going to work anymore. The I don't know what I was thinking is not going to work anymore. All that, it's not going to fly.
If we find out right now what we're talking to you,
get ahead of it.
It's easy to explain. When we find out later, that's when it's hard to explain. That's why I'm trying for you to be honest with me. It's easy to explain right now.
No, you're trying to make it seem like I gave him something.
Because
I never gave him.
Do you even agree that a 6-year-old child just does not die? 6-year-old kid just.
I don't know what happened. I told you that. I didn't do nothing to him. All I know that he went to sleep last night, and he was stay asleep. He was breathing. I put him in the tub, me and my son. He was still breathing. When I woke up this morning at 8 o'clock this morning, he was dead.
You even told the dispatcher you didn't know how to check to see if he was breathing. So how do you know he was breathing?
At 8 o'clock this morning?
No, all night.
I seen his chest moving.
It's okay to tell us what happened. It's okay to tell the truth.
I am telling the truth.
Listen,
put me on a lie detector test, and so I can tell you.
That don't mean nothing. Come on, come on. Listen, I get it. Well, you know what? I can't say I get it because I don't get it. That you got 5 kids at home. Shantay, you got 5 kids you're taking care of. You by yourself. Like Detective Beaver said, you're taking care of your boyfriend's kid. And that's his kid. And you're doing the right thing. What do you want me to do? How do you want me to do? What do you want me to do with your kid? You know what he does to you? He puts it on you. That's what he does to you.
That's not fair.
He puts it, and it's not. It's not right. It's not right. We're not saying you're a bad person. You're not saying we're trying.
That's what it make you. Okay, that's what it seemed like.
Listen to me. Listen to me. You know what we're trying to do? We're trying to figure out what happened. That's all it is. The truth. Just the truth.
And I told y'all the truth.
But the problem is that don't make sense. It's not gonna. It doesn't work like that. 6-year-old boys, 6-year-old girls, they just don't die. They just don't. It just don't happen like that. They don't come in with towels and say, where you want me to put it? And then lay down with your son, watch football, and die. It just doesn't work like that. There's something, whether you gave him something or whatever, there's something happened somewhere along that night from when they got home, something happened. That's what we're leaving out. So if you think we're coming at you like all this kind of stuff, you did this, you did that, just tell us what happened. That's it. That's all we want to know is what happened. The truth.
And I told y'all.
Could you have gotten into the ecstasy?
How many was left?
How many should be there?
4.
There should be 4? What about the oxys?
I don't know. Maybe, I think 13, 14.
13 or 14.
The melatonin, your son takes 2, you said sometimes?
Yes, but
Okay.
that's the gummies.
That's the gummies? Okay. Did they take them themselves? Or did you give them to them?
I give it to them.
You give them to them? Okay. Now they're kept somewhere where they can't get them themselves? Or somebody couldn't get them? And they just stopped taking them?
Yes.
Okay. So,
And I don't know how many they got of that left. If it is some left.
Where is it kept?
In the cabinet, in the kitchen.
So if somebody wanted these, because you were in the room when Tyree came in from the shower, you were in your room playing on your phone, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So there's no way that you could think of that he would have gone to the drugs by himself, right? Because you're in the room.
Yes.
And you ain't gonna let some kid take drugs, right?
No.
Okay, right. That's what you're gonna do. And the melatonin and all that kind of stuff, they're in a spot where you're gonna know kids take stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
And if Jay Sean sees something unordinary, he would have told me.
Jay Sean, okay, right, because he's a good kid and he's your son, so he's
Mm-hmm.
gonna tell you. So let me tell you, so if something comes out in toxicology and all that kind of stuff down the line here of drugs in the system and all that kind of stuff, well, there's only one person who would have access to it, right? And who would that be?
Me.
You would be you, right? So you're saying here right now, you gave him nothing. No drugs, no, nothing's gonna pop up in there.
No.
Nothing whatsoever. I just don't get it. I just don't understand how you got kids, man. You gotta help me. I
can tell you.
You gotta help me figure out, and I'm not coming at you, I'm just asking you. You got 3 kids, unfortunately you've lost 2 in the past. You got your protective mom, you got a 6-year-old, right? You showed his eye kind of like half open, half not waking up, and then you're not calling for help. You gotta help me understand that. Not once, I'll even give you once, but not 4 times throughout the night, leaving them in the bathtub and going to sleep. You gotta help me understand. Tell me, convince me. And it's not that I don't know, it can't be I was scared, because you're a grown woman, you take care of kids.
I wasn't thinking.
Okay, well, you gotta be thinking something.
My mind is every fucking where.
Okay, well, your mind was everywhere to call Tony.
I only called Tony last night and this morning.
Right, for help.
You knew enough to check on him. You knew something just wasn't right.
Right.
You knew, I'll give it to you. You see his chest rising. You know he's breathing. But you knew something wasn't right with him.
Yes.
Because you know that a 6-year-old just does not just wake up. Right? I mean, help us explain it. Help us explain why you didn't call. And like my partner said, we're not coming at you. It's just reasonable. Like, why didn't you call?
It just doesn't go away. It's just the explanation of why a 6-year-old passed away, and then stepmom, whatever we're gonna call you, checked on 5 times and never called help. The answer, my mind wasn't thinking. That don't fly. I wasn't thinking, don't fly. I don't know who's gonna get past that one, but it ain't gonna get past here. I can tell you that.
Let's put it this way. Say the roles were reversed, and Deshaun was at someone's house and this happened, and that person said, I just wasn't thinking. As a mother, as his mother, would you accept that answer?
No.
Okay.
We're not saying you're a bad person. We're not.
That's what it seemed like.
It may seem that way, but we're not. Okay? I feel for you. I think that you have a lot on your plate. You have 5 kids that you're dealing with.
Yeah, we don't know that pressures. And then the boyfriend, his own dad's putting it on you.
I freaked out when I had to change a diaper. I couldn't imagine. So we're not saying you're a bad person. But even you said yourself that you wouldn't, as a mother, you wouldn't accept that answer. Just help us understand. Were you scared? What were you afraid of? Shantay, were you scared?
Yes.
What were you afraid of?
Everything.
Well, what's everything?
I can't explain to nobody what happened because I don't know what happened.
What were you afraid of? I said, what were you afraid of? You said everything. I'm not in your head. I can tell you're a good person. I can tell on that 911 tape I can tell the fear in your voice, the sense of urgency that you had. You wanted help for him. And once again, Tony left you by yourself there to deal with it. And now putting more pressure on you. I feel for you. I don't think you're a bad person at all. I think you were scared. I think you were. I know you were scared because I could hear it. I could hear it. But before that, what were you afraid of? You said everything. What is everything?
It's okay. It's okay to tell us.
What is everything, Shantay?
He didn't leave you alone last night too. He left you alone this morning. After you call, he comes home. You both know he's passed. You both know he died. He didn't call 911. He didn't stay with you. What did he do? You even tried to call him. How many times did you try to call him before you called 911? He wasn't answering the phone, was he? He wasn't. No, I know. We know. We know this. That's why we're not coming at you. We just want to know the truth. We know he left you hanging out to dry. I know. I can't imagine the when you said you were afraid that he leaves. He leaves you holding the bag again.
You were terrified, probably. You were probably terrified.
So you got to call for help. I get it. I get it. It's wrong. It's wrong. So that's why we just want what happened, the truth. Just the honest truth.
That did happen.
What's that?
I told y'all the truth.
Listen, you're not a bad person. You're not a bad person. Do you think you are?
No, but y'all make it seem like I am. Y'all make it seem like I'm lying.
Shantay.
I don't know what happened. All I know from the time he got home until he went to sleep.
Let me ask you something. Does that make sense?
From the time he got home to went to sleep, what did he do?
He was in the room with my son after he took a shower.
Okay.
He ended up going to sleep.
Okay. But before that, before he took a shower, from when he got home to taking a shower, what did he do? Where was he?
He was in the room with my son.
Okay.
Playing.
Right. So it's his time to take a shower, right? And you're in the room playing the whole time?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So he lays down in your son's room watching football, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And then you're going to get something to eat, right? You try to wake him up. He ain't waking up. But his eyes were all like this, you were saying. Half open, half closed.
Mm-hmm.
And then you leave to go get pizza?
Yeah, because I thought he was like in a deep sleep.
Yeah, but he doesn't sleep like that ever. That's what you told me. I don't know. That's what you told me. You got 5 kids. They're all had a great time. They're all tired at the park. I get it. It's hot. They're running around. So out of the 5 kids, there's only one in a deep sleep.
Only one that went to sleep.
That's what I'm saying.
And I don't know why.
Shantay, does it make sense?
Yeah, something's not answered. It don't make sense why you didn't call 911. You don't check on him.
I did check up on him.
Yeah, but you said you could see he was breathing, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, 911 asked you this morning, this morning, is he breathing? You said, I don't know how to check. I don't know how to check. So here's the thing. You checked 4 times, right? But when 911 is trying to give you instructions about how to save his life, or how to breathe for him.
I wasn't thinking.
No, it's not thinking. You don't think of, I don't know how to do something. You just, hey, somebody ask you a question, I don't know how to check. I don't know how to check if he's breathing, but you knew how to check all night. Now, if you don't know how to check, you don't know how to check. So he could have passed away, he could have stopped breathing sometime at 4. I don't even know what made you wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning?
I don't know. I can't sleep the whole through the night.
You just woke up?
And I do that every night.
Okay. So when you got out of bed, though, when you woke up at 4, though, you were concerned enough to check on him, though? Like you would check and still if he's in the tub?
Mm-hmm.
And you walked in the bathroom? Okay. And he was breathing?
Yes.
And you touched him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But you left him there?
Shantay, why don't you take him out of the bathtub?
I don't know. I thought he was still.
Okay. Cool, I get it. He's still sleeping at midnight, he's still sleeping at 4. But you could have put him in his bed.
I didn't think like if he would have sat up, it would have stopped his breathing.
What do you mean? So if you sat up, it would stop the breathing?
I'm assuming it because he sat up all night. He had stopped breathing.
Like he was sitting up like this, you
You
mean?
mean
And that stops his breathing?
how he was in the tub? You mean
Yeah,
with his-
compared to laying down on the bed.
So you're saying that you assume that since he was in the tub, sitting up, that stopped his breathing? That's
I'm
what
assuming.
you're assuming. 'Cause I'm asking you on that. Okay.
Now, as a mom of 3 kids, does that make any sense? That sitting up is going to stop someone's breathing? Am I understanding that right? Is that what you're thinking? That he was sitting up in the tub would stop his breathing? Am I getting that?
I'm thinking like if he would have still been laying down, he probably still would have been breathing.
So the sitting up was the thing that stopped his breathing?
I don't know. I'm assuming. I don't know.
So are you thinking that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but are you thinking that since you put him in that position in the bathtub, that's what caused him to die?
Yes.
Is that what you were saying when you assumed that with him sitting up in the tub the way he was, that's what caused him to stop breathing?
Yes.
Is there anything that you did that you feel responsible for his death?
No.
Besides not calling 911?
No.
Shantay, you're not a bad person. I don't think you are a bad person. I don't. If I thought you were a bad person, I would have brought you pizza, even though you didn't eat it. You must not like cheese pizza.
I'm not hungry.
We're just trying to be able to explain how a 6-year-old child just died, that's all. And if this was Deshaun, you would want the same thing, right?
Yes.
Alright, give us just a minute, okay? You sure you don't want more water, some cold water, or anything like that? Alright, give us just a second, okay? You okay? Do you need the restroom or anything?
No. Do you have another blanket?
Yeah, we'll get you another blanket.
Another blanket?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Hi, how you doing?
Alright.
I'm Detective Ruland. The other detectives told me you were asking to take a lie detector test. Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're going to do right now, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is a CVSA. It's a computer voice stress analyzer. Do you know what that is?
Mm-hmm.
This is the newest piece of equipment. This is what they use. The military uses to debrief terrorists. Okay, it's 100% accurate. And I'm the senior operator here. You ever had a polygraph before?
Mm-hmm.
You know what a polygraph is?
Like a lie detector test or something?
Yeah, like that measures your heart rate and your skin. And well, this is nothing like this. This is very unintrusive. I'm just going to have you put a thing around your neck here that's got a mic on it. And we're going to go through a series of questions that are yes or no, okay?
Okay.
Is that okay? So if you could go ahead, just put that around your neck there. And we're going to go through the questions right now. I'm going to ask them all to you. Then when we get through that, we'll do the test, okay? So there's no surprises. That thing will tighten up a little if you pull it, so it will get closer. There you go. Bring it up. Right about there is good. Yep, that'll work. Okay, a lot of these are irrelevant questions, which are basically just filler questions. Then there's 2 questions I'm going to ask you to lie to, so I can tell what your lies look like, okay? Alright, the first one's going to be, am I sitting down?
Yes.
Is there a switch on the wall?
I don't I don't see one.
So that'd be no. Are the lights on?
Yes.
Is the door closed?
Yes.
Okay, and then I remember I said there's two I'm going to want you to lie to.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is there a floor in this room? And you're going to say...
There's a floor in this room.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I want you to lie to that
shit.
one.
Oh, I'm sorry. No.
And the other one I want you to lie to is there a ceiling on this room? You're going to say...
No.
Right. Okay, now there's two questions they wanted me to ask you. The first one is it Kyrie?
Kyrie.
Did you give Kyrie any drugs or medication?
No.
Besides putting Kyrie in the bathtub, did you do anything to harm him?
No, sir.
And then there's one more relevant question. Are there 12 months in a year?
Yes.
Okay, so you remember the ones we're going to lie to, right? Floor and ceiling. Other than that, just answer yes or no in a loud voice. I'm going to ask you the question and I'm going to point to you so we make sure the microphone's open to catch your voice. If for some reason there's like a longer gap between a couple questions, doesn't mean you did anything right or wrong. It means we still have an open microphone. Okay? So you ready?
Yes, sir.
Now remember, it's just yes or no, no yes sir, nothing else, okay?
Okay.
And answer when I point at you. Am I sitting down?
Yes.
You're gonna just pull that up a little and try to speak in a louder voice. Act like you're not talking to me, act like you're talking to the door back here. Okay? Gotta have a loud and clear voice, alright? We'll try that again. You ready?
Yes.
Am I sitting down?
Yes.
Is there a floor in this room?
Yes.
Remember, that's when we got to lie to, okay?
Okay.
We're going to do that again. Remember, floor and ceiling we're going to lie to.
Okay.
And you really need to speak up. Your voice is dropping off again, okay? Can you talk louder?
Yes.
A little bit louder.
Yes.
Okay, why don't you, can you hold that microphone a little? Maybe hold it right about there. That might help us some. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, remember the floor and the ceiling we got to lie to. You ready?
Yes.
Is there a floor in this room?
No.
Is the door closed?
No.
Need you to tell the truth on that one, okay?
Oh, I thought you want... I'm
Is the
sorry. You said floor and ceiling.
floor and ceiling. You ready? Is the door closed?
Yes.
Did you give Kylie any drugs or medication?
No.
Are the lights on?
Yes.
Besides putting Kylie in the bathtub, did you do anything to harm him?
No.
there a switch on the wall?
No.
Is there a ceiling in this room?
No.
Are there 12 months in a year?
Yes.
Okay, here's what we do. Whenever somebody does something, they're nervous, and you didn't remember, which ones to lie to during the test, so we never grade the first test, okay? We grade the second test. So it's going to be the same questions, no surprises, just remember loud and clear voice, floor and the ceiling you're going to lie to, okay? Do you have any questions before we go on?
No.
Okay. Hold that. There you go, ma'am. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Am I sitting down?
Yes.
Is there a floor in this room?
No.
Is the door closed?
Yes.
Did you give Kyrie any drugs or medication?
No.
Are the lights on?
Yes.
Besides putting Kylie in a bathtub, did you do anything to harm him?
No.
Is there a switch on the wall?
No.
Is there a ceiling in this room?
No.
Are there 12 months in a year?
Yes.
Okay, you can take that off. What I need to do now is I need to go grade it. Then I have to have another operator check my work, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, do you need anything else while I'm here? Water, anything?
No, sir.
All right. Hang on, we'll be right back with you. Okay. And if it spreads out, that's not so truthful. Do you see any that really spread out here?
That middle.
This one?
Yeah.
And can you read what that question is to me? Read it out loud.
Do you give Kyrie any drugs or medication? I didn't give him nothing.
Well, what are you thinking about on that question that would make it do that? Did you give him something?
No. I didn't even feed him last night.
Well, what were you thinking about here?
I didn't give him that. Y'all lying on that. I did not give him nothing.
I'm not lying. How am I lying?
That's crazy. I didn't give him nothing. You can even ask my son, my kids. I didn't give him nothing. That's not right.
Well, I need to go tell these detectives the results. And it'd look a lot better if you had some kind of explanation for me.
What?
It'd look better if you had some kind of explanation for this.
I don't have no explanation. I didn't give him nothing.
So why'd you have all that stress on that question?
I'm nervous. I don't know what's gonna happen. If you feel my heart, I'm still pounding.
Well, yeah, if you're nervous, it'd show on all of them, but you see, it's really only showing on the one question there. It's not showing on all the questions. You see how they're peeking and this one spreads out?
That's not right. You have to retake that. Because I didn't give him nothing.
Look, if you gave him something and there's a mistake, let us know.
I didn't give him nothing.
I mean, what you did makes no sense. Who leaves a child in the bathtub overnight? Did you leave him in the bathtub overnight? Did you leave a child in the bathtub overnight?
Y'all trying to pin this on me. That's what y'all
I'm
trying
asking
to do.
you a question. You made a mistake. You know, there's a big difference here between people who made a mistake and somebody who did something intentional. And we're just trying to figure out which one you are.
I'm not no killer. I don't do nothing to no kids. I know for a fact I didn't give him nothing. Why would I give him something? I didn't give my own kids nothing. That doesn't make any sense. I have nothing against him. I love him like he was my own child.
I'm not saying you gave him something to kill him. I'm saying maybe you gave him something to calm him down.
I didn't give him nothing.
He didn't have his medicine for his ADHD, right?
I didn't give him nothing.
Did you give him something to calm him down?
No. Y'all gotta redo that. I know for a fact I didn't give him nothing.
Ma'am, I was at the autopsy, okay? He's a perfectly fine, healthy kid. Nothing wrong with him. Nothing wrong with him. And why was he in the bathtub?
My son suggested that we should put him in the bathtub.
Why?
I guess to wake him up, because it seemed like he was in a deep sleep.
So you couldn't wake him up, am I right?
Right.
Okay, so what happens? You can't wake him up.
Yeah, me and my son had put him in the bathtub.
How old's your son?
10.
Your son's 10?
Yes.
Why did he tell you to put him in the bathtub?
He was thinking maybe he should wake up.
And what'd you do when he was in the bathtub?
He was still breathing when he was in the bathtub.
Did you put water in the bathtub?
Yes.
And how long was he in the bathtub?
All night. But he was still breathing. Last time I checked, he was still breathing at 4 o'clock. Before I had went back to sleep.
So did you sit with him the whole time he was in the bathtub?
I had laid it back down in the bed.
Was there water in the bathtub?
No, it had emptied out.
Why was he still in the bathtub?
I just left him there. I didn't want nothing to happen. Because I thought like, if I would have took him out in the bathtub, it would have got worse. He was still breathing.
Why didn't you call 911 when you couldn't wake him up?
I was waiting for his dad to come home thinking that he was going to be able to wake him up.
Well, what'd you do to try to wake him up?
I just like hit him on his thigh and I filled the bath water up.
You didn't shake him any more than that? You just barely tapped him on the thigh and put him in the bathtub?
Mm-hmm.
That's all you did?
Yeah.
So you didn't shake him or anything? Try to revive him, get him up?
I don't know how to revive nobody. I never took CPR.
Well, shake him to wake him up.
Yeah.
Did you do that?
Mm-hmm.
And you shook him pretty good?
I didn't want to do too much.
And he didn't wake up?
Mm.
And then you're telling me you take the advice of a 10-year-old to put him in the bathtub instead of calling 911?
Yes.
And you leave him in the bathtub all night?
Yes.
You don't see anything wrong with this picture?
I should have called.
You should have called when?
Around 8 o'clock last night. Well, after 8:30 last night, after I got off the phone with my boyfriend, I should have called 911.
And you know why people don't usually call 911 right away? Usually when they're trying to hide something.
Trying to hide what?
You tell me. You put them in a bathtub. That's usually what you do with somebody that's overdosing on something, right?
I don't know. I never been around nobody that overdosed.
And then you leave him in the bathtub unattended all night, right?
It wasn't intended. I kept on checking up on him, make sure he was still breathing.
To make sure he's still breathing.
Yeah.
So you know there's a pretty bad problem, right? You realize this isn't normal, right?
Yes.
And you didn't call 911.
Yeah. Well, I ain't called until 8 o'clock this morning.
When he was deceased?
Yes.
So you sat and watched him, not being able to wake him up, and waited till he was deceased to call 911, is that correct?
Yes.
Why?
I thought he was still gonna be up when I woke up at 8 o'clock this morning.
And what
Because
is...
he was breathing all night.
But you couldn't wake him up.
Nothing.
You couldn't wake him up, right? You couldn't wake him up. Ma'am, if you made a mistake, you know, if you gave him something just to make him sleep,
I didn't.
right? Because look, we got two kinds of people. We got those that make a mistake,
I don't even want to talk no
and
more.
we got an animal that would kill a kid and sit here and lie about it. Now, I don't think you're the animal up here.
Well, that's what y'all making it seem like I gave him something, like I meant to kill him or something.
Nobody
I don't
said
know.
you meant to kill
He
him.
went to sleep last night, and then he would wake
Did you
up.
give him something
I
to calm
didn't
him
give
down?
nothing. I didn't. I just made a bad decision. I should have called him last night. I didn't call. That's the only thing I did wrong.
And you're the only person that would have had access to medication in the house, right?
Yes.
So if there's medication in his system, where'd it come from?
He had to get it. I don't know
Where'd he
how.
get it? I don't think he bought it on the street.
Why would you say that?
You're saying he had to get it. I'm saying, well, he didn't buy it on the street.
It was in my house.
Right, but you're the only one that had control of it, right?
Yes, but I didn't think he don't get up in the middle of the night. I was there at the house. I don't know how he would have got it.
Did you give him something?
No, I did not.
Sleep.
I need to take that test over. I ain't gave him nothing. I have no reason to give him anything.
Remember, I was at the autopsy. Remember? I know what happened to him. You know what happened to him.
Where's the other detective?
We're just trying to figure out where you fit now.
Where's the other detective? Because you're trying to pin something on me and I didn't do it.
I'm just giving you the facts. Like
You're
I
not
said, I
giving
was
me
at
the facts because
autopsy.
that's not true.
It's right here.
You want to take my fingerprints?
What are
You
your
wanna take-
what are your fingerprints?
I don't even know, because I didn't do nothing.
Your whole actions explain the story. You took an unresponsive child, put him in a bathtub.
That's
And
the
left
only
him
thing
there
I'm guilty
overnight.
of, because I put him in the bathtub. I thought he was gonna be
You thought he
up.
was gonna what?
Be
He was
up.
gonna be what? Come on. You couldn't wake him up. You put him in the bathtub. You run water over him, and you don't call 911
Oh my God.
because you're hiding
Oh.
something.
I'm not hiding nothing. I'm not even take another test. I'm not gonna let y'all pin that on me, and I didn't give him nothing.
How do you explain that?
How do you explain what?
You fail on the question. What were you
You
thinking?
probably did that.
Huh?
I didn't do that.
You didn't do what?
I didn't give him nothing.
It's showing otherwise. What were you thinking about then? On that question.
I'm thinking everything. Thinking that I'm guilty because I didn't call 911. I didn't give him no medication.
Where would he have gotten medication?
What?
Where would he have gotten medication?
On my dresser, where y'all seen it at.
You're the only one that has access to it, right? How did he get in your room to get in your dresser?
He got to come in my room to get his clothes out my room. But I would have hurt him.
And did you?
No, I didn't. Because if I did, I would have told his dad.
So what's he like if he doesn't have his ADHD medicine?
I don't know. He don't stay with me. He ought to come on the weekends.
So he comes every weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's he like when he's not on his medication?
Busybody, like in everything. But I don't know, like when the last time he take it or anything like that.
Do you give him any medication?
I don't give him nothing.
Who gives him his medication?
His dad gave him melatonin before, but that was a while ago. Any like ADHD meds or something like that, his mom would give it to him. She don't have him bring anything. She don't have him bring no clothes to the house.
So he has no medication for the whole weekend. And was he acting wild when you last seen him up and moving?
No, he was calm.
He was calm.
Mm-hmm.
What happened that day before he went unconscious?
All I know, he took a bath and he went in the room with my son. My son know how he was acting. I was all in my phone. When I'm in my phone, I don't pay attention to nothing.
Okay, so when did you notice there was something wrong with him?
When I was like trying to wake him up so he can eat.
What time was this?
I don't know, like 8:30.
You were waking him up for dinner?
I was waking him up before I ended up going to McDonald's and Hungry Howie's last night.
Did you go to McDonald's and Hungry Howie's?
Yes, I did, and I left my son at the house with him.
It wasn't Uber Eats?
Hmm?
And you didn't call Uber Eats?
No.
No?
Because it takes forever for them to come.
So if I heard that somewhere, that must be wrong, huh?
What?
That you guys ordered Uber?
What?
That you didn't leave?
Before?
That you didn't leave?
What?
What I just said, that you didn't leave, that you ordered food.
I left. I said I left.
That's not what I was hearing. Who'd you leave in charge?
My son.
How old's he?
10. I went to go get the food from McDonald's. I even got the receipt. You okay? No. They trying to make it seem like I gave Kyrie something.
Because I'm still trying to figure out what happened, because I'm listening, because Jay Sean wasn't by himself. You know, when they questioned him, I was in there with him. And they were saying that what he was telling from when they was taking their bath and stuff, and he was asleep. What happened from the time that he was asleep? He said he was in a breeze. She was shaking him and everything. Okay, I get that part. But it ain't nothing along the lines that I need to call the paramedics because he breathing funny or nothing.
He wasn't breathing funny.
Jay Sean was like, he
was
that's breathing funny. When you gasping, That's breathing funny. That's just like when Jay Sean, when I know that his asthma or whatever is acting up, how he cough.
See, I don't be knowing that. Other people know it before me. The man had to tell me that Jay Sean breathing was bad.
And we always have told you need to learn your surroundings, Shantay. You're not a bad person. You just need to learn your surroundings. That's the thing about it. This could have been all avoided if you would have called the paramedics. When you shake somebody and they ain't moving, who told, put them in water? Who said that?
Jay Sean.
And you listen to a 10-year-old?
Yes. And that probably made it worse.
How can you listen to a 10-year-old?
I don't know, Mom.
Like Jay Sean know what the hell going on. And for Tony not to say, hey, take him to the hospital or call somebody. He didn't take nothing? He didn't give him nothing? No nothing?
Nothing.
Because we wonder how can he go from this bubbly kid to like all of a sudden he just lay down and go to sleep.
I don't know. And I told them I want to take the test or whatever, but then it came up that I gave him something. I said, what the hell I'm gonna give him? I ain't give him nothing.
That's the biggest point. 911. You're not a bad person, and you know you're not a bad person. Many kids you don't care besides your own, your nieces, your nephews, and other people kids and everything else. Nobody never had no problem. I know you can see where you made your mistakes, but and my thing why Tony didn't say, well, instead of you calling me, why you didn't call 911? And I understand you doing that's his kid, so he need to know about his kid. And I understand that you wasn't thinking.
Every time I don't think I mess up everything.
No, it ain't the point you messed up everything. It's the point that it was what people will call common sense. If you know a person is not moving or anything like that, you call 911. Or you call paramedics or whoever. You call somebody to try to help you out.
I just thought he was like in a deep sleep.
That's too deep. That's too deep. There ain't nobody gonna sleep that damn deep. Unless you're in a coma. Because I think Jay Sean said he was hard to wake up. He usually a hard person to wake up anyway.
Yes.
Okay, even though he's a hard person to wake up, and you know he's not in that normal waking up setting, you know something is wrong. And I know, because I know I have told JT to get up and I go back and get in the bed thinking that he don't got up or whatever, and he went back to sleep, and so have I. So I understand that part, that you okay, kid, get up. That's the only thing that this thing, pray this thing cold.
I thought he was gonna get up. I didn't think he was gonna. I already know they gonna arrest me. I just want to kiss my kids. They make it seem like I'm lying.
They just trying to get to the bottom. That's it.
And I told them, Mom, I don't know how many times I'm going to repeat myself. It's not going to change.
I understand what you're saying. But you also got to realize that a 6-year-old.
I understand that, Mom, but I didn't do nothing.
I understand that too. The only thing that you didn't do, baby, you didn't call.
That's the only thing I did wrong, Mom. That's the only thing.
I know that.
I didn't give him nothing. I did.
I know.
And they make it seem like I did when they took a test. It says that I gave him something and I didn't.
Shantay, stop. I know. You're a good mother, and you know you're a good mother.
It don't seem like it. It don't even seem like it. Mom, I just make bad decisions. I ain't even meant for this to happen. He was still alive at 4 o'clock this morning. And it'd be hard for me to stay up. I went to sleep. I would do nothing to hurt nobody.
I know that. And I know that. You never hurt nobody kids.
I don't even want my own kids.
I know. And they damn sure need to.
It was just a mistake. And I can't take it back.
I know. And you can't. I'm so sorry.
I can't give no answers. All I can say, I don't know. And they don't want to hear it. What else they want me to say?
Just want to know the reason why you didn't call all in that time. Because the average person would have. But just like you said, he wasn't thinking. And listen at a team.
And then I was freaking out when Jay Sean had a seizure. Mario wanted blue in his face for him to revive himself. If that was left up to me, I probably would have let my son die.
No. You can't say that. You can't say that.
I always freak out, Mom. When serious things happen, I always freak out and don't think. Whatever the outcome, just make sure I see my kids. I already know I'm going to jail. I hope not either. But there's nothing that can help me.
Oh God. Because you're not a bad person. You just
They making it seem like.
You just don't think. And that's not a lot of times I get you to try to think for yourself. That's it. You could have called me or Robin or whatever. But just like I said.
Tom was the first one.
I know, because that's his son. And it's hard.
Shantay, even your mom doesn't believe you. She doesn't. Even your mom does not believe you.
My mom do believe
She doesn't believe you.
Yes, she do. I was just talking to her.
Do you want your kids to search one day on the internet about you and find out child murder? Is that what they want? You want them to see? Or was it a mistake? Did something happen?
I didn't give him nothing.
Then what happened?
I told you what happened.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, that toxicology is going to come back and it is going to show something in his system. It's not if there's going to show something in his system, it's going to show something in his system.
Y'all going to blame me for
So
anything.
what
Just
and how?
go ahead. I didn't give him nothing. I already said it.
What and how?
What you want me to say?
I want you to tell the truth.
I did. I didn't give him nothing.
Then what happened to him? Because he didn't just die. A 6-year-old child does just not die. You even failed the polygraph machine. You even failed that.
Y'all forged that. Y'all forged that.
Bullshit.
Ain't no fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it is.
Yes,
it is.
No, it's not. Just fucking arrest me. That's what y'all want to do. Just go ahead and do it.
What? I don't want to arrest you. I want justice for a 6-year-old boy. Justice for a 6-year-old boy that thought of you as his mother. That wanted you to protect him when he was there in your house. And you failed to do that. You failed to do. No, you're a 33-year-old woman with 5 kids, or 4 kids, okay?
Yes,
and you don't just make a stupid decision.
You always make a stupid decision.
And you know what?
Look at my fucking record.
A 6-year-old boy is dead because of it. Will never have a wife. Will never see his mother again. Will never be able to play with your son again.
Just go ahead and arrest me. Just go ahead.
So what happened last night? Because you can explain it now.
Go ahead and arrest me.
You can explain it
now. Go ahead and arrest me. I already told you.
You can explain.
Arrest me.
You can explain it now.
Arrest me so they can fucking kill me in prison. Whatever.
Shantay, you can explain
I already told you.
Now is the time to explain it. Not when that toxicology comes back.
Let me know when to come back.
And what's going to be in there?
I don't know. Just blame me for whatever is in my house.
What's in your house?
Whatever it come back. Just blame me for it.
What's going to be in his system?
I'm telling you, I don't know. Whatever you find, just blame me for it. Because I don't know what was in his system. Only thing I did wrong, I did not call the paramedics.
This little boy was gasping for air, dying right in front of you. He was dying right in front of you.
And I didn't even know.
You knew.
No, I didn't.
And you were afraid. You were scared.
That's the first time this shit happened. The first time.
What happened?
This incident. I don't know how to think when I be under pressure like that.
Shantay,
I was fucking scared.
Shantay, I understand that, but that's not an excuse.
Whatever it come back, just go ahead and blame me for it, because that's what y'all going to do. I didn't give him nothing.
Shantay, look at me for a minute. How can you explain?
I can't.
Hang on. You're a reasonable person. Okay, you are.
No, I'm not. Nobody
you weren't last night. You weren't last night. But how can you explain from him going all bubbly and happy to being dead?
I don't know. I didn't give him nothing.
Then what could he have taken in that house?
I don't know.
Because you can't explain that. Only you can explain it. Only you.
I didn't give him that. If I would have gave him some, I would also give it to my kids.
No, you wouldn't have, Shantay.
Why wouldn't?
Because they weren't running around.
Oh, my 5-year-old act just like him. My 5-year-old act just like him. That's why I don't go out in public.
Shantay, we're here because of a 6-year-old boy. That's why we're
I
here.
understand that. I don't know what happened.
It's your responsibility to know what happened. Did you make a mistake? Did you make a mistake?
I made a mistake for not calling when I should. That's the only thing.
And when should you have called?
Last night at 8:30.
And when did you call?
8 o'clock this morning.
At what time?
I don't know exactly the time.
What time do you think?
I don't know, 8.
Right.
I don't know, after 8.
How many hours is that? 12 hours. 12 hours. He needed help for 12 hours. Like I said, look, just hear me out. It is understandable if you gave him something. Hang on, before you say. It is understandable if you gave him something and thought that maybe putting him in the bathtub would help. Thinking that that was gonna wake him up or basically sleep it off type of thing. But we don't know that unless you tell us. We don't know that unless you tell us.
I didn't give him nothing. He was already asleep.
Hey, Shantay. Hey, I'm Detective Hatch. This is Regan from Child Protection. All right. What we got to do is you're going through another little extra bit of steps. I'm gonna let her know. Let her tell you what we need to do. Okay.
You're a sample.
Yep.
Okay. My name's Regan. I work with the Sheriff's Office. I don't work with Clearwater PD. I just work Child Protection, okay? So I'm different than these guys. Anytime we're involved, you have the right to deny an interview with me, and you do have the right to have an attorney present, okay? I'm going to give this to you. This is my contact information on the back, and this is my cell phone number, so you can call or text that number, okay? So I know that you've been through a lot today, and I'm not going to sit here and question you, okay? I do have to go over the sheet with you. It's just something that we go over with anybody. And I will need a signature from you on it. Are you a card-carrying member of a Native American tribe? No? Okay. If there's any guns in the home, they need to be locked up and out of reach of any children, okay? Sleep safety, not relevant to you. We don't recommend co-sleeping with any babies, sleeping in the same bed. And water safety, always supervised around water. Pool, beach, lake, whatever it is, okay? And this is stating that I gave you that pamphlet. Okay? I need you to print, date, sign for me. That's fine. Are you gonna test positive for anything today? What are you gonna test positive for?
Weed and probably ecstasy.
Okay, how often are you using?
I smoke weed every day, and I only smoke ecstasy because me and my boyfriend had him out of town.
You went out of town?
Yes.
Okay. Did you both use then?
Yes.
Okay. Is that just something that you use occasionally, or?
Occasionally.
What about marijuana? Every day?
Yes.
How many times?
I don't know. Twice a day.
2 times a day?
Or 3 times a day.
Okay. So before you used, when did you use ecstasy last? When was it?
Friday.
Friday?
It was like Thursday night, Friday morning.
Okay. And where were the kids at?
My kids?
Mm-hmm.
They was with my dad. My son was with my dad, and my daughters were with my dad's ex-girlfriend.
Okay. With your dad, though? Mm-hmm. And then with his ex-girlfriend?
Mm-hmm.
And where'd you guys go?
We went to Miami Beach.
Okay.
Left on Monday, came back Friday.
Before that, when was the last time that you used ecstasy?
Shit. Probably 3 or 4 months ago.
Okay. And let's talk about yesterday. How many times did you smoke marijuana? Did you wake up?
That morning.
Okay, what about in the afternoon?
No.
What about in the evening?
No.
Okay, so only one time yesterday.
Yes.
Okay. Any other drug use in your past?
For my back.
For your back?
Yeah, for oxys.
You have oxys?
Mhm.
Okay, how often do you take oxys?
I don't take it as often.
You don't take it like as prescribed, you just take it as needed?
Mm-hmm.
So like how many times a week are you taking it? Or how many times a day?
I probably take it once or twice a month, if that.
Once or twice a month?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other drug use? When's the last time you took an oxy?
I don't know, probably like a month ago.
Okay, so you're not going to test positive for that?
Mm-mm.
Okay. You have any other health issues or anything?
Yeah.
What?
Allergic iodine and shellfish. I got, was it major depressive disorder and PTSD.
Okay. When were you diagnosed with major depressive disorder?
Back in February.
And who diagnosed you?
The doctor.
Do you know where that was at?
I can't remember the name of the place because I had stopped going.
Okay. Were you getting like counseling or anything like that?
I was getting counseling.
Okay.
And I was getting prescribed meds, but my medication had started giving me a rash, so I have stopped taking it.
Okay. Do you know what those meds were?
No.
Okay. And how long did you go to counseling for?
I think I started in February or March, and probably up to June or July.
Okay. And then you said PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
What is that from?
I think from losing my baby.
Okay.
And I also was like in an abusive relationship.
When was that?
Which one?
Your abusive relationship?
Like over 4 years ago.
Okay. Is that with any of the fathers of the children?
The last two.
Okay, they were both abusive?
Well, the last two got the same father.
Okay, so that's Eric?
Mario Taylor.
Mario. Eric is
Jay
Sean's father. Okay. Are either of the fathers still involved in their lives?
Eric help out every once in a while, and Mario don't help out at all.
Okay. Do you know where Eric is at?
In Pascal somewhere.
Okay. Do you have a contact number for him?
In my phone.
Okay. And you said that Mario's where?
I don't know.
Any other diagnoses for you?
No.
No? Okay. How long has it been since you lost your baby?
$14 years this month.
Okay. And no other medications aside from the oxy? Okay. Who's your biggest support system around here?
My mom and my sister and my boyfriend.
Okay. Tell me about Tony. Is he good with kids?
Yes.
Okay. Ever have any concerns for him with Kyrie?
No.
How do you punish the kids?
I hit him. Pop him.
What do you pop him with?
My hand.
Do you ever hit him with a belt?
Yeah.
Do you make them hold their pants down?
I don't know. No. I mean, I did before, but I barely whoop my kids.
Does it ever leave any marks or bruises?
I hit my son in the lip one time, but that was once. But other than that, no.
What did it do?
It just busted his lip a little bit.
Okay, how long ago was that?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. 3-4 months ago?
Was that with your hand or a belt?
My hand.
Does Tony discipline any of the kids?
Mm-mm.
Does he ever pinch them?
Yeah.
He does?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ever leave any marks or bruises?
No.
Does he ever punch any of the kids? Ever punch Kyrie in the chest or anything like that?
Mm-mm.
Okay. As far as, let's see here, Tanaya goes, how would you describe her?
She's funny, loving, caring. She always getting into everything. I guess because she be bored all the time.
Okay. Any health issues for her?
Not that I know of.
Okay. No medications?
No.
Any allergies?
No.
Okay. Who's her pediatrician?
I St. Pete Pediatric in Largo.
When's the last time she was there?
In April.
What about the dentist?
I haven't took her to the dentist.
Okay.
In a while. All of them haven't been to the dentist in a while.
Like how long's a while?
Over a year.
Shamari?
She's funny, smart, loving, always talking back when I talk to her.
Go ahead.
Oh, she don't have nothing.
Nothing?
Mm-hmm.
No allergies, nothing like that? No medications?
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time she was at the doctor?
On her birthday. I mean, around her birthday.
So April?
Mm-hmm.
And same doctor?
Yes.
Okay. And then Jay Sean.
He could be cool kid at the time. He's a little hard head. I see that he's, you know what I'm saying, trying to grow up and be more mature.
Any health issues?
Yes, he has allergies and he has food allergy and sinus.
What foods?
Food, peanuts, fish, shellfish, tree nuts.
What happens whenever he gets allergies?
He break out.
Okay. And then sinuses as well?
Mm-hmm.
Is he taking medications?
Yes.
What's he taking?
I can't remember. I know he taking Florinace. That's for his sinus. That's like in the morning. I think Patnace was the next night one. He has 2 inhalers. And I think one is like his rescue inhaler.
Does he take the inhalers every day?
Yes, he's supposed to.
Okay. Is that like how many times a day?
Every day.
Just once?
Yes, once every day.
Okay. And anything else, like a nebulizer or anything?
You don't take no nebulizer.
Okay.
Loratadine, which is some for his sinus, he take at night. I think that's it.
Okay. And then same with him, last seen at the doctor?
It was on his birthday.
April?
No, I take that back because I had to put him inside the school because they needed like an authorization because of the COVID, they wanted to make sure they didn't have COVID. So him and Shamari, they went because I had to sign them up for daycare where tonight was going at.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, I think, September.
So just a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And all of them were there in September?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any of them been like hospitalized or anything like that?
Or was it August? It probably was September. I don't know when that.
Okay. Any like hospitalizations or anything for any of them?
Where he stayed overnight like that?
Yeah, or anything like significant this recently in the past year? Okay. Do you want to do the drug screen for me? I just need you to sign saying that you're the one that's taking it. You're not going to pop for anything other than those two that you know of? I'm just saying that you're the one that's taking it right here. Sorry. I'm going to move this around. It's just going to be urine, okay?